Boss man, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Alright guys, doing something a little different today. We've done this before in the past. I just been thinking about this artwork in my head for a long time, so we're actually gonna get started. Last time I kind of started the painting toward the end, so it was almost finished. Oh, I can hear myself. Anyway, yeah, so we jumped into the painting a little bit later in the game, so it was kind of like almost done already. This one we're starting straight from scratch. Totally new. Let me get this set up real fast here. And then I'll switch over to the Photoshop view. Bossman, that's sweet that you do art, man. Art was my favorite subject in high school. Totally loved it. Let me switch over here. Let me know, guys, if the sound goes off or something goes wrong, because I tried to set this up. So if something goes off, like the music or my voice, or you can't see the Photoshop, let me know, please. Please let me know. Alright? I tried to get it all worked out before I started the stream. I probably should have prepared, like, even an hour earlier, but I thought an hour would be enough. So I was setting up a new scene. So anyway, switching over, let me know if you can hear me. Alright? Testing. Anywho, I might have to turn myself up on my end here so I can hear myself. But yeah, so you guys can see, got a blank screen here. Usually when I do a space painting, I do black screens. Let me see if I can hear myself real quick. Yeah, I can hear myself. Okay, good. Awesome. I just needed to make sure the stream was working. I'm like testing the stream as we go, but I wanted to make it so it's just showing Photoshop and not like my actual monitor. So that's what I had to figure out. And sometimes OBS has trouble with that. So anyway, I think we got it. So come over here to Le Photoshop. What I wanted to do, I wanted to create a green planet. But on the shadow side. So a green planet on the shadow side. And so just like a crescent. It's just gonna be like a crescent green planet. Just a little bit of light. I guess for you guys it'll be like this. So the crescent will be on this side of the left, your left side, and the crescent will be facing. I don't know how to explain it with the camera. The crescent will be on the left. That should be easy to remember, right? So usually to get started with these planets, let's get started. I go for shapes. I haven't done this in a little while, so I might be a tad bit rusty here. That's not a shape, is it? It is! Beautiful. Alright. And I actually want this circle to be even bigger than the actual portrait. Is what I'm thinking here. Let's see here. That might actually be good enough. I maybe a little higher up. Because what I want, I'm kind of thinking, I want the planet to kind of, I want the sun to kind of peek out the horizon just a little bit. So just a little bit of horizon there. And actually, before I get started, let me show you some of my older artwork here, so you can kind of get an idea of what we are building up to here. So you guys don't think I'm just making some green shape. Let's see here. Let's get the PNG ones. Those are usually better quality. I think I got them. Just find the ones with no text on it. That way it looks a little bit better. There should be another one. There's a green one, or excuse me, a kind of a bluish one. That one. Okay. We're gonna open these ones. I just want to show you some of my artwork here. That way you're not like, Randy, that's a green circle. I could do that. So this is what we're building up to. We're building up to these kind of artworks. Like these planets here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it done today. But this is one I did. I actually used this one as my welcome screen for PA Wednesday. So Planetary Wednesday, this is actually my welcome screen. that I did. Switching over here, this is one that actually painted while we were on stream. So that's something. So we're gonna be doing something different. Probably not as active as this one. This one's gonna be a little bit more serene, a little bit more calm when we do this one. Here is a white dwarf or neutron star. Excuse me, it's a neutron star. This one actually had to take a lot of math into this one. Because neutron stars are like kind of like these almost black holes, but not quite. But they do bend light around them. So I had to take a lot of that into account. They have the gamma rays coming out the poles. So yeah, so they are these almost black hole objects. I think they're very unique. I think they're very cool actually. So anyway, moving on to the next one. This one's Passion. Oh, did I not get the other one? Oh, Renewal's over here. Okay, gotcha. So this one, this is a brown dwarf. This is an almost star. So it doesn't quite make it to star level. But I did a brown dwarf because I thought it'd be cool to have like this object. It's not quite a planet. It's not quite a star. So it's in the between. It's like it's little. It's like for individuals that have like a unique persona about them, and they're chasing after their dreams. You know, they're just not quite like the other planets around them or society around them. So this is kind of like the artistic one. This is the first one I did for like the Chronos collection that I've been building up. Soon these will be able to be on sale. If you look in the back, that's the Renewal painting. So these canvases will be on sale soon. But I wanted to show you guys just kind of a sneak peek on some of these. Let me show you Renewal. Oh, it is not there. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Why can't I pull it up? Try that again. Here we go. Alright, so this is the poster version, but the canvas version doesn't have this graphic right here. And only has the signature. But you still... Let me come up on this one a little bit closer. You can see it. But this is what we'll be doing. This is similar to what we'll be doing today. The main difference is most of the planet will be in the shadow this time. So, more in the shadow. And, yeah. And I want the sun to be behind the planet. Kind of peeking out over the horizon just a tad bit. So, that's what we'll be doing here. So, hopefully that looks cool. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. So, we got the PA Wednesday planet that we did. This one's called Pandora's Sphere. I actually can thank MT0 for helping me name this one. This one's more like the mystery person. So all these planets that I've created, they are... I've based them off of characteristics and qualities of people. So when you look at it, you'd be like, oh, this is kind of like my planet. So I'm kind of trying to make a planet for everybody here. In this case, this is the mystery person. No, this one's a little bit more serene and covered in clouds. You don't know. Then you got a moon over here that's all shattered, and you have to think, why? How did this happen? You know, you're just like, there's all this going on here. There's a moon over here. There's a lot of like hot matter, hot rocks just floating around this planet. I'll tell you the answer what happened, but basically what was going on is a very similar scenario to Earth. And how we got our moon. We had a proto-Earth, so Earth 1 and then proto-Earth, or I guess Earth 1 and Earth 2. Both of them are proto-Earths. They hit each other, right? But it skimmed it. So it skimmed the planet. Most of the matter fell back into the Earth, and just a little bit of the crust kind of matter became the moon, and that's why the moon is the way it is. So this guy here is just going to become a new moon soon. And as it floats around and finds a new orbit around this planet. Someone used a Halley! Bruh. There you go. I mean, it's up to your interpretation, but that is the answer that I made. Boy, say what? What's up? Welcome, dude, to the chat. So, but yeah, so that's what happened. So, with this painting, but honestly, like, you can create, like you just did, Waspman, you can create your own story with this one. So that's the point of this one. This is the Pandora. He's the mystery person. He, she, this is it for mystery people that like a little mystery about them. Keeps people guessing. So that's what this is. You got the sun over here. This is like another person that's like peeking in. It's just like trying to understand this individual. So, but they got a lot of mystery. But they revealed a little bit right here. So you see some lava down here. You see some what looks like ice. So you have to kind of decide like what's going on this planet. MT0, good day. Yo, what's up, man? We're talking about the planet and how you helped me name it. By the way, guys, yeah, MT0 helped me name this planet, this painting here. So this one's called Pandora's Sphere. Boy, say, well, I've been watching for a bit. Not talking though. Oh, nice, dude. Well, welcome. Thanks for the lurk then. All right. Like I said, neutron star, very close to black holes. They're like these almost black holes. And I call this one Bend the Rules. For these are for people that kind of like go-getters, and they don't like to follow the rules that people tell them. Thanks for the name drop. You're welcome, NT. So like, because I've met a lot of individuals over my lifetime. There's the person that follows the rules and does what they're told, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, you know, there's the kind of individual, like here where I live, you know, there's the individual that works their 9-to-5 job and they're happy with that. And, you know, they follow the rules, they do what society tells them, they follow the cultural, you know, nuances or whatever. And then, anyway, then there's this other individual. These are kind of individuals I like. When people try to tell them what to do, they actually kind of push back a little bit. They bend the rules. They, not so much like they get in trouble, but they kind of break the norm. Like, no, I mean, like, they, you know, they turn heads. They make a name for themselves. So they're very noticed. So with these white dwarfs, they're very exotic objects in space. Because when a star dies, they shed all their outer layers. Some of it kind of collapses back into the white dwarf, but there's not enough gravity to create the black hole. So it becomes a very dense core. In fact, this little thing here, these white dwarfs, they're only the size of like a city. So like New York City, like this thing would fit inside of New York City. They're very small, but they give off enough light to like about the equivalent of a full moon here on Earth. So if this was orbiting the Earth, it would give off as much light as a full moon. But its gravity, its density, is almost like a full-on star. So it's very dense. If you got close to it, you'd get crushed. So anyway, I like them, and I kind of attributed, or kind of like connected these guys to individuals that bend the rules. They don't like to listen to people. They're like, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna do things my way, and then they do it their way and become very successful individuals. So that's what I like about that, about these guys here. So the renewal one, these are for individuals that may have had like a rougher past, but they're renewing themselves. They're healing. So you can see here, there's a lot of cracks in the ice here. So this is an ice planet. There's an ocean underneath it, right? And the oceans, they're moving, they're turning, they're always turbulent because inside the planet's actually quite warm and hot. But on the outside, obviously space is cold, so it freezes these oceans all around it. So it's kind of like Europa, as the way we might guess it. So a lot of inspiration came from Europa. But if you look around here, like there's these cracks all over, and some of them are like pitted with holes and craters from space. When you look at these other areas in the shadow, this is smooth ice right here. This is new. This ice down here is newer ice. And the reason it's newer is because the water bubbles up from underneath the ice and creates a new layer of smoother ice. And as kind of symbolic for healing the old scars. So some of these cracks are more prominent than others. So if you look at this giant canyon here, I'll get a little bit closer. You can see that this big crack here has already frozen over. All right, this scar is healing. So in the way with people, we, you know, over time, we heal. So it's called renewal. We're healing, or we're making a new you. So that's what I like about it. Boys say what? Neutron stars are the size of cities. White dwarfs are about the size of Earth. Ah, okay. Well, thank goodness that I called that one the neutron star here. Then you can see right there, space neutron star. Very cool. Yeah. So they're very small, and compared to the star that they used to be. So very cool facts, boys say what? Very cool. Very cool. All right. So anyway, so that being said, this one here, I'm thinking of something green. I want a green planet, and I want the star to kind of peek out around the corner here, just a little bit, just a tad bit here. So, that being said, what I usually do for creating a planet like this, let me go over and grab some textures. I have some textures that I've created over time that helps me create a lot of stuff, like cool things that you couldn't normally do. I'm gonna turn some of these off, these tabs here, because we're gonna need some workspace. So I'm gonna turn those off. Let me look through some of these textures really quick. In fact, I think I already found the texture I want. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, let's see here. Not that one. Nope. Those are kind of... Nah. Okay. While I'm looking for a texture here, let's see here. I put untold amounts of time into learning astronomy, astrophysics, and such. I love space. Bruh. That's me. I spend a ton of time learning about... Ooh, let's try this one. Here, I'm gonna copy this one over so you guys can see the texture. You won't be able to see it right here. So we got some wood stump, and these are all images that we have the right. So when you're creating stuff with Photoshop, if you're planning to sell it, make sure you have images that you can actually sell. Don't grab copyrighted images. And a lot of these images here are kind of copyrighted, so either buy them from the stock website or create them yourself. So about half of these I've created myself, and about the other half I've got from stock websites. So make sure they're not like copyrighted material when you do these. Oop. Now I'm gonna keep going through. I'm gonna look for another texture here, because we're gonna be kind of combining a couple things. So I have a lot of rock and dirt textures. Now I know you guys can't see it, but I'm grabbing a few right now. I want this to be a green planet, but I don't want it to be a gas planet. So it's not going to be like Jewel and Kerbal Space Program. It's going to be its own thing. So we're going to make a new tab here, create clipboard, and paste it. So here I got a new rock texture that we'll be playing around with. Let's see here. I want one more. I kind of pictured some cliffs and valleys with this planet, and also some... Let's see here. Yeah, so I was picturing some cliffs and valleys, and some, you know, meteorites and all that fun stuff. So I think I found one here. And this here can easily become cliffs and valleys. So we're gonna keep this. Hit create. This is the other one. So this is actually just stucco from a wall, an apartment. From an apartment wall on the outside. So this is stucco. And I think stucco is one of the coolest textures out there because of how unique it looks. These, you can easily create these to make like craters and stuff for planets. So this is like was a passion project of my own, of just collecting all these textures over time. So it's been about a decade. I've collected these things over a decade, so I have a lot of these old textures. So anywho, what we're gonna do, you guys might actually learn a few things about Photoshop unless you're already amazing at it. And by the way, as I say that, I still have, oh my goodness, I'm worried about stretching that out. Let's see here. Let's keep looking real fast. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab this guy here real fast. I'm gonna paste it. Because with these textures, if you stretch them out, obviously you start to lose quality here. So we might actually have to take some of these textures and paint over them, if that's going to be the case. Let's see here. So with this guy, if we do utilize it, the texture has to go over here in this shape, this form over here. This one will be really good for like cliffs and valleys, like little canyons and stuff that you look in here in this wood. But also maybe overlay it with some of these craters here. So definitely there's gonna be some manual painting, which usually happens. That's to be expected. Let's see here. Let's grab this guy. We're gonna put it in the front because I kind of want this to be the base texture. We're definitely gonna paint it. We have to color it green. So we're gonna lose quality, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Oh, you know what? Let me grab this thing here first, because what I'm trying to do won't actually work if the circle is outside the canvas. So there we go. All right, so go back here. And we're gonna make it a bit larger. There you go. So probably, I gotta make sure I don't see any of the circle there. Alright. And I want, let's see, what side of this looks the best? I'm gonna put this in opacity just a little bit. Because I actually want to extract this part of the texture. Right about there. Alright, so we got that. So there's the texture I want. I'm going to actually select the pixels from the circle. Why are you selecting the whole canvas? What? Okay, fine. We will vectorize this thing if we have to. Rasterize. Did I say vector? I meant rasterize. Okay, now we select the pixels. There we go. Alright, and now we're gonna hit Control I. Oops. Control Shift I. And then delete the outside texture, so that we only have the circle on the inside. So if we actually bring up the texture here, now we have just the circle. But obviously, as you can see, there's no depth to this thing. It's just flat. Obviously, planets are not flat unless you are a flat earther. Then maybe to you it is. I'm gonna take a bite of this apple. Is that okay? So, we're gonna have to go to filters. Oh wait, before you do that, make sure you have this selected. It has to be selected as a circle. So in fact, I think I'm just gonna select it from this guy instead. So we have the, let's see here. Is some of this circle sticking out of its own perimeter? I think it is. That's fine. It's alright. So we'll fix it. We come back up to this layer, go to filter. We're going to distort, and we're going to go down to spherize. Now with this, it'll allow you to kind of see, oh, look at that, we're going to have to take care of that. Or just make sure it doesn't enter the canvas again. We'll blow it up just a little bit. It will distort and destroy some of the quality of the pixels. Like, that's expected. So, if that happens, don't panic. We're gonna fix it. I'm gonna do that actually one more time, because it's not quite fully round. It looks a little bit like a snowball shape, like if you were to cup a snowball and make that kind of disc-shaped snowball. That's kind of the shape it's in right now. I'm actually gonna do it one more time. So we'll go down to filter, distort, spherize. Let me bring it down. Let's see, I just need to keep an eye on this thing. It's need to see it. We blow it up. Because we need to see a little bit of distortion here on the sides. So I might actually have to go for the full 100% here. Yeah, alright. For that one, we have to go for the full 100%. So with this one, so this is what you want. You need to see this kind of distortion on the sides. Now, it does create a bigger distortion here. You lose a lot of quality in the center. So if you're doing this, make sure that you paint over... You have to paint over this again, alright? Because... Come in here, look at these pixels. Like, these pixels have been ravaged. They are an eyesore, alright? To say the least. They look horrible. In our case here, we might not have to paint over it because, like I said, this is going to be a crescent planet. It's going to be green. And all of this is going to be in the shadow. Okay? And I've been playing with the idea. I'm not sure if I want a ring around it yet. But I was thinking of having some of the ring come around the back into the shadow where you can see it, and then it disappears into the dark. So I'm thinking about that. I haven't fully decided if I want to do that just yet. But that is kind of where I'm leaning just a little bit. Let's grab some of this. I'm actually going to move our planet over here a bit. I want to show some of the space over here on the side. Some of the sun peeking over the horizon, and I might even... Let's see here. I guess we can put it right there. Keep the full planet. For now. And I guess I'll just decide if I actually want to, let's see here. Get rid of that. Also, I'm gonna select this guy here. Delete that extra piece. And how to delete all that extra, texture that's hanging out over outside the canvas. Just hit C. And you'll go into crop mode. And then just hit enter. What's gonna happen is you're gonna crop the picture, but you only keep it at the perimeter that you've already created. So just make the perimeter exactly the same as your canvas. And by doing that, you'll delete the textures here on the side there. Just kind of extra textures. Because they will get in the way. So just delete them. Just get them out of there. So they're gone. They are gone now. Let's get these textures now. Bring them to the top. So what I want... Since we're only going to be seeing the left side of the planet, we actually don't need to do a whole lot of work. For this other part. All the stuff out here. So... And we are making a green planet. So... We gotta make sure this planet is true to itself. I want a green planet. So let's see here. Let's grab... I want to keep this part of this texture. Okay, because this has got like this cool... Look over here. So everything on the left is going to get kind of erased. Look over here, there's these dark spots, and they look like craters to me. Now, this is technically stucco, and if you look here, you can see where the water was running down the stucco wall, where it left like these watermarks. That's from gravity. Obviously, we're going to have to get rid of those, or we're going to have to do something about it so it doesn't look like water that ran down a stucco wall. So we're going to have to fix that. Which I will show you here in a second. I'll show you how to fix it. Basically, just a little bit of content to wear. You know, there's a little bit of the healing brush tool. Maybe even rotating some of the meteorites. So there's a lot of options. So with this thing here, what I'm thinking... So this thing has to also be spheroized. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off that layer so we can see. But I'm going to mold this one into the planet now. So what I want to do... I'm gonna hit Control T. Oh! Control T, not Control R. My bad. I'm going to enlarge the size here. Because I want these little, like these little cracks here. I want these canyons. So that's what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna select the pixels from the base source here. Control Shift I. Control Shift I. There we go. And then we're gonna come back to this texture. Delete. Now we have like we have a planet that looks like a stump. And that's okay. I'm gonna hit the crop tool right now. And we're just gonna delete that extra texture on the outside. So just get rid of it. No need for it anymore. And now there's a couple things we can do here. Which is, we're gonna want to select these pixels. And we are going to filter. And do the same thing we did last time. So we're gonna go to distort and spherize. And the first one has to be 100%. And then the next one, I'm gonna do it again. And since we did the first one at 100% on the second try, so we're going over this twice to give it basically 200% sphericalization or whatever. Do you have Adobe After Effects, Rand? Yes, I do. I'm not entirely savvy with it, so I don't actually know how to use After Effects. I have the whole suite, but I don't know how to use it. So that is a skill that I need to learn, but I would love to learn After Effects. Love to learn it. It's just a lot of work. I can only learn so much at a time. But yeah, so anyway. Now we have our planet here. Obviously, we can't see the texture below it. Now there's a couple of things we can do. Which is, you can kind of play with these different blending effects. Look here. Ooh, and that one's not bad actually. I actually like that one. This is just an easy way, a quick way to get the textures blended together. And of course, we're gonna have to do some extra. I'm gonna do that one. So we're gonna have to do some extra painting over these guys, so that they look a little bit more melded together. Because right now they look kind of skitty-wampus, like like some of these cracks going over the other textures cracks. They're not totally congruent. So we'll have to tweak and fix and kind of move things around. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna have to do here. We won't have to do as much work on this side though, because really what I'm focusing on is just this part of the planet. So this thing right here is what I want to be visible, just this crescent. And as you can see here, there's not a lot of depth with these cracks and valleys right now. It's very flat, and the way to fix that is actually with shading. The shading will go a long way for these kind of flat textures here. So right now they just look flat and kind of insignificant. That's all right. Let's see here. Just find myself looking over the internet for information like scientific journals, and also have like 10 books on the subject. Bruh. Boys say what, dude? It sounds like you got some knowledge there to drop here. Drop that knowledge. We would love to hear it, bruh. All right. Let's see here. So I do want to add the craters here. So I am looking at this, and I do want to add the craters. There's another thing we can do. If I click this layer here and I hold Alt, probably for the Mac users, I believe it's Command. But yeah, Alt. I'm gonna kind of merge these two layers together a little bit. In fact, if I merge down, I might lose the overlay effect, but let's take a look. Oh, nice. We kept it. All right, beautiful. That's what I wanted. It is destructive. I am aware of that. That was a destructive move I did there. But in this case, I'm okay with the destructive stuff. What I need to do is I need to work with all the layers at once. And so I am creating destructive layers at the moment. And that's okay. I am creating my own world right now. And I was picturing big valleys and cracks and valleys and a green planet. Why it's green, I don't know yet. But I want a green planet. I usually kind of figure this out later. I usually have the planet I'm picturing first, and then I go into the internet and do some research. I was like, why is this planet green? But boy, say what? Since you have so much knowledge, maybe you can give us some theories, some ideas of why this planet's going to be a green planet. Why is this planet green? By the way, yeah, just drop that, guys, your ideas in the chat. Like, why is this planet green? And it's a rocky planet, so why is this rocky planet green? Why is it a green rocky planet? What's it made of? Is it copper? Like, what is it? Maybe it's a planet with copper, but with no oxygen. Like, we don't know. We don't know. I do want some atmosphere, though. Maybe. Actually, I haven't decided on that yet. I'm not sure if I want to add atmosphere. Because then I have to make clouds. In fact, maybe I won't do atmosphere. So it's a good channel. They go over the same stuff sometimes, though. Oh, okay. I don't know what you want to know. No, my bad. Yeah, maybe some ideas on why the planet is green. So no atmosphere, but the planet is going to be mostly green. Now this is not going to be just green. I mean, I'm going to add some colors and textures to this, but the dominant base color is going to be green on this planet. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Interesting. I'll check out when I can. No worries, man. No worries. No rush. If you have just ideas, I'm all ears for ideas right now. So, all right, we got that. So let's implement this guy here. I wanted to add some craters, specifically to this this side over here, and it's already looking really cool. I'm actually really enjoying it. The way it looks. I just want to add, like, it is a space planet, so it is going to get hit by a crater. So that is something we want to take into account. So we're gonna blow this up. Yes, we will lose pixel quality, and that is okay because we are going to be painting over this. Yep, no atmosphere with this one. Green and rocky, then the planet could be covered in advanced evolved variation of several thousand lichen species. Ooh. No, it could be a lichen species that doesn't need atmosphere to survive. So, I mean, this is our world. Like, we're creating something fictional because nothing like this exists in our atmosphere. So, or I mean, in our solar system. So we are gonna have to pull from just kind of what we know from science and kind of bend the rules a little bit and create like this kind of fictional planet. So that's what I'm thinking here. So, but I've had this green planet in my mind for a long time. So I just want a green planet. I'm gonna blow this up just a tad bit more, just a smidge more. I am gonna try to cover up the planet. Oh. Did I just distort it? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I distorted it. I'm trying to keep the original shape because it lessens the distortion of pixels. There we go. Oh, but you know what? Look at this. Hardly any of the planet or the craters are in our texture here. So if I brought this opacity down, we would only be capturing about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd only be capturing a handful of craters. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it like this, just kind of opaque for a second. And what I'm gonna actually do, I'm gonna grab, I just use my lasso tool. I'm just be lazy about this, but I'm gonna grab a couple of these textures that I want in this piece here, and I'm just gonna drag them over here. It won't look pretty at first, but it'll work. It'll work. This is Photoshop we're working with, so we can easily grab and fix any texture. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit V. We grab any texture like deformities or whatever, and you know we can just fix it. So I do want that one over there. That crater looks really cool. So I am gonna be extracting that one. Then I'm just gonna drag it over here. And I might even drag it here. I kind of like it. I like it a lot, actually. And this guy, this one's really cool. So this one, I actually want to grab this. I'm actually gonna tilt it a little bit this way. And I'm gonna drag it over. I think it would look really good right here on the bottom of the planet. Now, over here, like, I'll just use some content aware and fix that. So this can be fixed. We fill it in, content aware. Fill, content aware. Hopefully The algorithm makes it look really nice. Ooh, it did really good job. All right, so look at that. You can't even tell that we messed with it. I guess you kind of can in some certain spots like there. But there's easy ways to fix it. So what we're gonna do actually is use the content aware tool again. Go around some of these textures right there. And I'm gonna do content aware. So we're gonna do fill, content aware. It's just gonna, what the algorithm does is it just pulls information from the pixels around it and goes, hey, like let's use these textures to create this new filling. So ooh, boy say what. All right, so let's see here. Well, making that, it would be difficult. It would be instead have to only be a planet with a little bit of green as an atmosphere, as a catalyst for the air that transfers bioenergy through organisms. So making a planet with life but no atmosphere would probably be very little amounts of stagnant, but rather immortal lichen species. Empty0, thanks for the lurk, man. That's interesting. Okay, so boys say what? So maybe there's a high gravity with this planet. So maybe it's just high gravity, so the atmosphere might actually be getting squished. So it only sloshes around maybe through the rocks and valleys. Maybe like at the tops of the mountains, there's no atmosphere, it's kind of sticking out. But like down below, maybe the atmosphere's kind of sloshing around in between cracks of rocks and in canyons and, you know, little valleys and mountains, like just kind of in the bottom of these like vistas and valleys. Maybe something like that. And then down inside is maybe where the lichen lives. It's a good idea. I like that. I like it. All right. Maybe we can grab this crater here. It's an interesting looking bit right there. I'm gonna actually move it over. And like I said, we're gonna have to actually turn some of these around so that they look more like so they don't look like the water running down the wall here, because that's what it is. It's just water running down stucco. So I'm actually gonna start rotating a couple of these. And like I said, there's gonna be a little holes in the texture. That's okay. We'll fix those with our content aware tool. Oh, I actually want this crater as well. I'm gonna bring that over because a lot of the stuff over here on the right will not be visible. So, alrighty. Alright, so wrap around that. Bam. And then we're just gonna do content, or we're gonna do fill, content aware. There we go. It's kind of blended in a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's see here. Fill again, content aware. There we go. That looks a bit more natural. Looks like a crater hit it. I'm gonna do that again over here. Yes. Yes. There we go. Alright. So we're gonna fill it again. Bam. And there we go. So we got some cool effects here. It shouldn't be too obvious that we've kind of flipped things around a little bit. It should be okay. I'm actually gonna look over here for the not the eraser tool, but the spot healing brush. Here, wherever that is. I always forget. It's not the stamp tool. Where's the spot? Oh, it's this one. Spot healing brush. That's the one I want. Probably the healing brush tool though, not the spot healer. So I'm just gonna actually go around. Oh, a source. Oh, it wants a source. I want the content aware though. Patch tool, content aware, move tool. That's okay. That's what I want. There we go. So this uses content aware. This is what I'm looking for. Sometimes though with this brush, it does create some kind of weird nuances. So just be aware that it might do some weird stuff with the textures. But we're gonna kind of go over it again. I just wanted to kind of smooth these out a little bit. There we go. That does create some interesting dynamics over here. Even with the small, like, discrepancies of the content aware tool, it's actually working in our favor right now because it makes it look like this crater hit the ground. I might have to do something about these two. These two are facing in the same exact direction, so don't want that. So if we flip it over here, that should do the trick. We'll do the content aware tool again. Yeah, we're gonna be using it a lot for this texture, because we gotta make sure that these craters don't look like the water ran through. We want to show that the asteroid that hit it had some kind of direction. So we're gonna actually use that watermark to our advantage. So you can, it looks like it hit it and it kind of sprayed out on the rest of the planet. So we'll do content aware there. And I'm gonna do it again over here. So bam bam. And blue blue blue, where do we want? Fill. Grab some stuff over there. Fill it again. Bam. Alright. And there you have it. A new crater in a different direction from this guy here. And that way, no one is the wiser. Except for you guys, since you saw me do it. But let's see. I want to actually keep those textures right there. I actually like those. So I'm going to keep those. Hit the fill tool. Bam. I almost feel like I don't need to touch it right here, because it blended in really well on its own without the help of the content aware tool. So I think I am gonna do this part a little bit more. I'm seeing a little bit too much of a harsh transition to the rest of the textures. There we go. Even my eye can't see that very well. It's really hard to see. I can see a little bit right there. And in fact, I'm just gonna use the brush to fix that. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so we got a few holes in the thing there, but those aren't gonna be in the planet. They're actually sticking outside of the planet. So if we select the pixels here, I got the craters that I want. I think I'm gonna actually have to move another crater over here. I'm seeing a lot of white space there. I would like to see another craters. Maybe a kind of a wide crater. Maybe this is a volcano that did this mark here. So, or maybe grab some of these guys here, but let's see here. I am gonna fix some of these open holes that we just made in the texture. Just fill them in real quick. They don't need to be why is that not filling up? Oh, I'm using I'm on the wrong layer. I was totally flabbergasted for a second. I do that a lot, so I'll notice I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. We'll do it again over here because this might show, but I'm not entirely positive if it will or not. So just to be safe, I'm gonna fill these in, and I'm going to grab. I'm really liking this crater over here, so I'm gonna try to grab as much of this little group. And it does have a darker texture around it, so we gotta kind of remember that when we bring it over into that empty spot. Where's the empty spot? I believe the empty spot's right here. In fact, I'm gonna bring down the opacity so I can see it. So that's the empty spot. So we actually bring that over here. I'm gonna do a little bit of a rotation. Oh, did I not grab what I wanted? Oh no, I didn't grab what I wanted. Okay, hold on, let's do that again. So we'll just select our pixels. I don't think that's even the shape I had before. There we go. That looks a little bit more like it. All right, so we're going to bring this over here, and I think that's good. We're just gonna have to do some blending, because obviously this texture here has quite a bit of a contrast compared to the textures around it. So what we're gonna do, I even see a little bit of a gap right there, so we're gonna have to cover that up. Just gonna go around the perimeter. Oops, and I screwed that up. That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Just kind of come around, grab some of this perimeter and let the algorithm blend it in for us. There we go. We'll do that. Let the algorithm do its thing. Fill it in. Boy, say what? Says sorry, wait. Oh, okay. I'm all ears, dude. If you got a new idea, let's hear it. Alright, I'll just fill some of these in. That might not work for me that as much. Actually, it might still work. Actually, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. I like it, actually. I changed my mind about it. Give me a second. The chat message explaining the whole planet didn't go through. Hey, no worries, man. No worries. All good. So, let's see here. We're gonna do a little bit of a fill tool there. Help blend these textures together. To the point to where it's believable again. So, let's see here. Is that believable? If I were to look at this, would I think, hey, yeah, that looks like that belongs there? I think it does. I've seen a lot of Mars pictures, and Mars has cool little geometry like this, and we can actually bring this out. Like, maybe this is a mountain. Could have been a former volcano. We don't know. In fact, a lot of these might actually be better as former volcanoes than craters. Ooh, look at this one. This one could be caves. I can see some holes in the stucco here. So many good things that we can do with this. I'm gonna bring it over. I like this one. In fact, I'm gonna bring this whole bunch right here over. Because I like it. And once this is a little bit more believable... Yes. Okay. Once this texture itself is more believable, it'll be easier for us to blend it in with the rest of the textures underneath it. There you go. Now we just gotta blend this guy into. It's not it's not very well blended. I don't think it was blended, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I think I've seen some harsh lines in there. Alright, cool. So let's fill in the big giant gaps of holes in the ground that we just did here. Fill that in. See what the content aware tool does with it. Oh, not bad, not bad. Alright, cool. So there's one more over here that we need to fill in. There we go. And then, and that should be good for that texture. I think that's good. I think I got what I'm looking for. So, that should look pretty epic, in my opinion. I think it will. We're going to select pixels from the base planet here. And I'm going to hit Control-Shift-I. And then delete all this excess texture around it. And then I'm going to hit C. Hit crop, and we're gonna delete all of this this excess texture that's hanging outside of the canvas. So I'm gonna do that. Bring it down. We're gonna have to do the sphere tool again, so we're actually select the pixels on this layer. Testing. All right. Hold on, I'm gonna take a quick bite of my apple. So I'm going to do the distort tool again. We're going to hit spherize. There we go. Just this by itself looks like a lot like a planet. Honestly, I won't be surprised if maybe if I just do this as a planet of its own. I can even, very easily, I could create a moon. I could just flip the texture over and use the crescent on this side. So, it would work really well. It won't work in Twitch? Alright, man. No worries. I'll read it. Just let me know when you post it. Okay. Let's see here. So that looks good. That looks good. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to look at some blending layers here. on how... Ooh, that's interesting. So look how it changed the textures. How it looks so different already. So, I do want to bring out the craters a little bit more. I want the craters to be a bit more prominent. Because the textures underneath there are definitely... they're overpowering the craters above. But we're gonna fix that. What I'm gonna do... I'm actually gonna... let's keep it... Where's that one? The darkened one that was very interesting. It was very interesting to me. Is it darkened? Yes. So it's in lounge. All right, man. Let's take a look here. So he says that could work, but no, making a terrestrial planet with enough gravitational energy to condense the atmosphere below mountains and plausible terrain and ground density. This would be massive and extremely difficult to actually explore. But this could work by making this planet have several underground pockets of water, which could be the home of the thermal vents, which were the base of all life, creating molecules on Earth. This would be further plausible as water could have hit the planet in asteroids. With such a weak atmosphere, these craters would take literal eons to erode. True. With water and microorganisms, lichens would have a source of food, air, water. The lichen would dominate the visible outside, while the underground lakes would be massive microorganism colonies. But just like you said, they would only inhabit extreme valleys, possibly made by tectonic activity in the very early stages of this planet's life. For those confused, I tried to put this message to... Nice. The epic disclaimer. Excellent, dude. That was epic. Alright, yes, I like that. So, let's see, there was something you said here that I like. Let me go back here. Because, yeah, I would totally be okay with making this planet massive. I was thinking about that. I'm okay with a super heavy, humongous, dense planet. Because what I was thinking, if there's life on a heavy planet like this, they might not actually be able to get off the planet ever. Like, if they created their own NASA program, let's say, these lichen, even with the fuel that they might be able to produce, the gravity might actually keep them from ever leaving their own world. Their own planet would be a prison. That is how this planet would work. I think it's a good... I like it, boys. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. That's actually exactly what I was thinking. So, an underground life form. They live underground. Maybe... I don't know how gravity works the further down you go into a planet core, if it, like, becomes less and less. But... it would be a hot planet because of all the gravity. It might still be a planet that stays warm for a very, very long time. So, very, very interesting to think about. I like this. I like this train of thought. I am... I'm having a hard time trying to see the craters, what we did here. I'm trying to see... maybe there's one that's a little bit lighter. This is the lightest one, but I can't see the textures below. But I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit on normal. I'm gonna do the opacity. I'm gonna bring it down just a bit so I can see the craters, but still see the textures underneath. I'm gonna duplicate this texture because I might actually screw something up. But I'm gonna paint underneath the craters to kind of wash out the textures below. I'm actually gonna wash out some of these guys down below. I'm gonna do an X over here. Right. It will most actually be like that. These organisms would have most likely adapted to the gravity. That's very true. That's very true. So they would have to adapt to the gravity and then hang out in spots where only the atmosphere can hang out in. So it might be kind of like Pluto, the further up you go, where it's like a very, very thin methane atmosphere. Because Pluto has an atmosphere, it's made out of methane, but in certain parts of their orbit, they actually believe that when it flies out really far out in its orbit, because Pluto's got kind of an elliptical orbit. So when it goes way out there, they actually believe that the atmosphere freezes and falls back into Pluto. So there's these periods where Pluto doesn't have an atmosphere. So I'm thinking maybe, well, this is a dense planet, so maybe like it's got its atmosphere, but maybe it's just super thin the higher up you go, just not enough to sustain life, but maybe just enough to create, I don't know, it would be like the life form might have to hold its breath like a fish, coming up a little bit and come back down. I don't know. Lots of ideas to work with here. I like these kind of trains of thoughts, because this is kind of how I create my planets. I have to like think about it and be like, now if we got this planet here, like how is it gonna work? Like, how does this planet work? All right, so we got the hardness to 100%. I'm actually gonna bring it down to about 30. And I'm just gonna paint underneath the craters here to remove some of that texture of the layers below it. And the reason I'm doing that is to, I think I'll keep the white layer there, or that dark layer there, excuse me, on this crater here, because I like the dark texture. Like, I would like it if the dark ones kept their texture. So I'm going to keep the textures I like, but for the most part, I'm just going to go over most of this underneath it. That way, do some of these overlay layers, we can blend it together really well, really easily. There we go. Alright. I kind of went out of the lines a little bit, but that's alright. I'm not worried about it. Making these lichens so durable, they may be stronger than some natural metals. Hey man, maybe they're a metal lichen. Maybe they got a lot of metal inside their bodies. I mean, this is our life form. I mean, we get to create. This is our world. Use your imaginations. Like, what would life do? Our understanding of life. Like, what would it do in a planet with this much gravity, and the atmosphere is just kind of squished in some of the valleys? So the heavier parts of the atmospheres. Like, what would it take for that life form to survive? It's an intriguing line of thought, and I like it. I like it. So right now, I'm just kind of painting over these craters right now. Just like I said, I'm just destroying the textures underneath it. Just enough so that our canyons are a little bit more visible here. To have a planet with sufficient low surface atmosphere, you would probably need to make absolutely massive planetary creases. Yes, that's why I made so many on this planet. So I wanted some big creases. But also, there's also gases here on Earth that float to the bottom. So maybe it's a heavier gas as well. So it's a heavy planet, but also has a heavy atmospheric element, maybe, to keep it down below, while the lighter elements kind of float above it, kind of like those jars, you know, that you have with the water and the different oils, and they create these layers. So there's probably layers in this atmosphere that have kind of settled, and they're kind of in their own place, you know. So maybe something like that. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of the white texture in here in this crater, and in these craters as well. I like this. Okay. A little bit of painting there to create this kind of texture. The caves look really good. I like these caves a lot. I think they're gonna look fantastic once we I'm gonna actually grab a darker texture here for this crater. There you go. And switch over to the lighter texture for the outside part of this crater here. Okay. Now, we'll be doing the shading here soon. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're giving these craters their chance to shine, because we want these craters to show. So we're kind of exaggerating certain features in this planet. Now, the canyons and stuff, they'll show up really well, but I just need to make sure these guys are gonna show up really nicely as well by hiding the cracks, the fissures, because I would like these craters to actually be newer than the canyons. Like, because if this planet has high gravity, then what will have to happen is it's going to be pulling in a lot of stuff. It's going to be pulling in a lot of rocks from space and hitting this planet frequently, but not too frequently to kill our beloved lichen on this planet. So let's see here. We'll go here, grab some of that, throw that down. Yes, it's coming together. All right. Also plausible, as we don't need oxygen in particular to be a catalyst for energy transfer in lichen. These lichen would be silicon-based life, which wouldn't have oxygen as a catalyst. Instead, possibly something else. Ooh. So maybe we would have to explore some different different atmospheric gases that could be heavy enough to float to the bottom, but also act as the catalyst, like you're saying, to give our lichen the energy they need. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of dense stuff below, so maybe there's probably a lot of stuff for them to choose from as for their energy source. So who knows? Maybe, I mean, this planet probably gathers a lot of heat as well, because of its. I don't know why I'm painting on this side. This part won't be visible, but just in case, I was kind of painting it. There we go. Color this part over here. That should be visible. That should be good. Let's go over. Oh, wait. This part here. I really wanted this one to be one of the more visible features on this planet, one of, like, geometric craters. I thought this one was cool. It's interesting, and I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna try to get that one in here. There we go. Just make sure none of the canyons and craters intersect with this meteorite impact here. So there we go. All right, cool. Hey, Marshall, what's up, man? We are making a planet. We're using Photoshop. So right now, we're kind of theorizing what this planet will be like. This is a high gravity planet, so it's large, lots of gravity, and we're kind of thinking that the atmosphere, since this thing is so dense, the atmosphere actually sloshes around in the canyons of our planet here that we're creating. So, and it's gonna be a green planet. Right now it's brown and kind of grayish, but it's gonna be a green planet. So let's up the opacity here again. There we go. And let's play with some of these textures. There. So now you can see that the craters are showing a lot more. Not quite as much as I was hoping. So that's too bad. I was really hoping they'd show up a lot better. It's not completely horrible though. But yeah, we're trying to create this world where inside the crevices are the atmosphere. So the atmosphere actually is sloshing around between the cracks and the valleys of these mountains. So yeah, so we're putting our heads together to create a world here. What tools and what methods have you been using? I'm still trying to learn techniques in graphic design. Hey man, so right now, I've been grabbing textures, and I've been using these the spherizing. Let's see here. You go to filter and you go to distort. You can actually take a texture and round it out like you see here. So these were flat textures. These are the textures I'm using right now. I'm using a tree stump, some lava rock. There's a lot of lava rock where I live because this place used to be I technically live inside of a caldera. So so there's a lot of lava rock around here. So there's lava rock and then some stucco from an apartment wall. So that's what we're using right now. My issue with this that I'm seeing here is the craters are not, they're not prominent enough to show. They show a little bit right there. And this might actually work. It might work. We might have to do some a little bit more painting here, because if I do darker color, because look at this. This is what's bothering me. If I look at this canyon here, so that's clearly going to be a cliff. If we're gonna have a crater here, we're gonna have to show some depth in this crater, and also there's a canyon right there. So that maybe these craters will have to be older than the canyons and fissures themselves for this part of the planet. So we might have to keep some of these. Looks cool so far. Well, thanks, Marshall. If I bring up the untouched stuff, the untouched craters, now we're seeing some more of these. Let's see here. I think what we're gonna have to do, I think I actually have to paint from this perspective here, and then from later on we're gonna have to take some of this blue. I'm seeing a lot of blue in here, which we could use as the lichen. Maybe the lichen are luminescent, so maybe these canyons could actually be glowing a little bit with their luminescent lichenness. So by doing what we just did, it brings the depth back, but we're losing some of the texture of these craters again. So I will have to repaint, but I'm gonna paint with this filter so I can see, because I'm seeing there's a lot of these textures I wanted to keep, and we're losing them. So we're gonna zoom up really far in, but we're losing the textures a little bit. So I'm actually gonna delete. Let's see here. If I do it this way, yeah, that's not gonna work. So we're gonna actually have to do it like this. I'm gonna duplicate this layer again, because we are gonna use some destructive methods. So I don't want to lose all of our work here just yet. There we go. So we'll just kind of cover up some of these other things. We've got to make sure these craters have a proper representation here. Let's grab some of these. Oops, that's probably too dark. My bad. There we go. Alright. Throw those down. Bam. And I'm gonna get rid of some of these, I think a lighter color. There we go. Get rid of some of these dark splotches here. I want these to be prominent. I want these to show. There we go. Bam. So I'm pushing back some of the textures of the bottom base layers. I'm just painting over them and getting rid of them and making it match with the crater. There we go. I'm gonna keep this larger crater texture here. I like it, and it will give some depth to the canyons. Because that's what was bothering me before, is that the canyons they lost their depth. It looked a little bit silly. So if we're gonna create a planet, we gotta make sure all the mountains and the valleys are believable to the eye. So if I come over here and look at this looks, for the most part, this looks believable to me. I'm not seeing too many discrepancies, except for this crater here. I'm seeing these this texture in the ground here, and then I see this crater. This crater is so fresh looking, I don't think these textures should actually exist. So what I'll do is I'll take these textures and I'll actually get rid of some of these, get rid of some of the stuff that this valley is doing here. I'm actually bringing down the softness a little bit more. The brush is a little bit harsh for what we're doing here. So when you use dark colors, sometimes using dark colors is actually they're very sensitive to the light colors, so they show up really well, and vice versa. So you gotta make sure these look good here. There, that looks much better. This crater looks fresh. It looks like it belongs there. It looks like it was recently hit. A little bit of shading will make that pop out and give it some more depth, which we'll go over here. We'll go over shading in a second, but we gotta make sure that our canyons are all congruent with themselves. So these ones I'm okay with. These look like older craters. The canyons have kind of taken their toll and have eroded them a little bit. Let's see here. Boys say what? Bioluminescence lichen would work, but they wouldn't be all around the planet. Instead, they would be confined to valley colonies, as the energy to have these lichen reproduced would make them more energy intensive. And therefore less active, they don't spread a lot. That's true. They would only hang out in the cracks, and even in the cracks, they wouldn't even cover the full crack. So like if they do give off light, any kind of bioluminescence, it would be very, very dim, unless you went underground for this planet. They could possibly be near a major underground lake, giving them a better chance of surviving, hence why you would only find them in one part of the planet. Yeah, so maybe, because this planet seems to look, the more I look at this planet, I'm starting to see a lot of maybe like some volcanic activity possibly, or geometric activity. So there could be a lot of lava tunnels that these lichen are using, and those lava tunnels could be full of water inside of them. But in Avatar, the whole planet's lit up at night. Hey, Avatar is legit. Like, Avatar's planets had a pretty cool, I'm scratching my back really quick if you get, they had the floating mountains. So Avatar had this thing where like the mountains are kind of like magnetic, and it was kind of like the magnets pushing mountains up into the sky a little bit. I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool to have like these floating rocks. It was an interesting idea. So I mean, I'm not saying it's really, if you just take a little bit of science, you might have to twist it a little bit, but you can create some cool worlds using your imagination here. I'm getting rid of some of these textures here. This crater here looks a lot fresher to me, but I need to get rid of the erosion around it. Some of these valleys here. So this crater is brand new. It smashed the planet and got rid of whatever here, whatever kind of geometry was here is just got erased because it got hit by this crater or by this asteroid, and now it left a crater here. So let's see here. I'm actually gonna push back some of the erosion a little bit more. There we go. So we'll have that one kind of show up. I'll push some of that back as well. These guys here. So this one's interesting. So I think what I'll do, I'm actually gonna get rid of some of the canyon there. So, yeah, I'll leave it like that. I like it like that. All right. So there's another one here. There's a big, humongous cliff right here, and this crater here. So I think what I'm gonna actually have to do with this crater, I'm gonna push the cliff back a bit. So because right now the cliff looks a bit like kind of like a gradual hill, but I need it to match the rest of this cliff. So I'm gonna push it back and make the cliff more of a sheer cliff, more of a steeper kind of a thing. So I'm actually gonna push back the canyon just a bit here. I think I went over a little bit too much right there. Not happy with it. There we go. Just right there, just like that. Going around the dark spot, and then I'm gonna let that have. I'm gonna let that one keep its erosion. This guy over here, probably ancient asteroid crater as well. I'm gonna only push back the cliff a little bit because I'm seeing. If you see this little ledge here, it shows that there's a level difference. So maybe down there, there's a little bit more erosion I'm seeing here. So I'm gonna let that erosion be and let it hang out. This is a new cliff and this is a new area, so I'm gonna let it be like kind of a slightly different biome than the rock over here. Because we gotta remember, this is a huge planet, so the biomes are gonna change slightly. So I'm gonna, yeah, let's just grab some of that. I'm taking away some of the texture, just to make it a little bit better. I'm also gonna get rid of some of these guys here. So if you look here, some of these pixels kind of got destroyed in the process of spherizing our planet. So, and that's to be expected. That's what I was saying at the beginning. If you do this, you're gonna destroy some of these pixels and lose some of the quality of the texture. Which at that point you'll have to repaint over it and bring some of that texture back. Empty0, welcome back, man. Oh, I forgot to put the welcome back one. Shoot, the welcome back command. I'll have to add that one today. Let me. Where's my pen? This is my remind me pen. As soon as the stream is over, let's put an X on my finger here. There you go. I got it. I'll remember it. How's it going? It's going good so far. I'm just fixing up some of these textures, and making it a little bit more of a believable world that something like this exists. So, oops. Kind of pushed back some of those textures. I destroyed it a little bit too much. So what am I actually gonna do here? I'm gonna take my the smudge tool, because the smudge tool is amazing, and I'm just gonna kind of blend some of these together. I love the smudge tool. There we go. We'll just blend these in. If some of these need to be smoothed out a little bit, which these guys do. These ones do. I'm gonna leave that one like that. That one looks like a crater, so I'm gonna let that be. What's the X for? The X for is for reminding me to add the welcome back command after you're done lurking. So, because I just noticed that oh wait, the Nightbot did do it. Never mind. It did it. We got it. Good job, Nightbot. I'm just dumb. Alright. So I'm just gonna blend some of these destroyed pixels. These ones got damaged, so, and when we distorted our picture here. So obviously we don't want distorted pixels because it looks bad. So I'm just kind of smoothing some of these out to make it look a little bit more believable. And if you don't want to smooth them out too much, just barely click the smudge tool on some of these spots. Just enough to smear the pixel just a little bit, to blur it out. That way, keep some of that geometry in there. It looks cool. That way, it doesn't look so bad, because you know the look when pixels get damaged. Like, you see it, your eyes notice it. So I'm just kind of pushing some of these back. Okay, get some of these guys over here. So look at this. So there's a lot of damage right here. So we're gonna have to actually go in there and just kind of repair that with our smudge tool and painting tools and all that fun stuff. See, another thing that would make this planet difficult to explore, make these lichen even more extreme, the UV radiation would be brutal, because they're with little oxygen, an ozone layer would never have formed. Oh, dude, you make a good point. That means no protection from the home star. And honestly, not just UV, gamma would be extreme as well. So maybe, that could be their energy source. So maybe they're using the heat from the planet, but also using some of that extreme solar radiation that's coming off of the sun. Because there is a star with this planet. It is a sun. And it will be bathing this planet with radiation since there's no atmosphere. You're absolutely right. That is a good point, dude. You make a very good argument with this. So, no atmosphere means no protection against your sun or star. It might have a magnetic field. It might be a very powerful magnetic field because it's going to be heavy. It's a heavy planet. So I'm not sure how much that would help. With an atmosphereless planet, it might still have a magnetic field. So I'm not sure what that combination would be. But, against certain solar radiation. But you make a good point. That's a great, what do you call it? Observation. And honestly, not just UV, gamma would be... Oh, okay, I read that one. My bad. Okay, so... Yeah, and gamma's the bad one, right? That's the one that kills people. But maybe, because these are like super lichen. They're like those tardigrades. I'm kind of picturing little tardigrade species living on this planet. Kind of something like that. Let's see here. Just mix these guys up here. Unless you're Bruce Banner. Unless you're Bruce Banner, then you're okay. You make a good point, MT. You're Bruce Banner, radiation got nothing on you. Radiation got nothing. All right. Let's take a look back. Let's scroll back a little bit and see how that helped our world. Actually, it's helped quite a bit. I'm gonna hide the boundary real quick, and if you look at it, right there, look at the boundary. It looks nice now. It doesn't look so damaged like this part over here. It looks smooth. And we need it smooth because this is the part we're going to be looking at. Because like I said, this is going to be a crescent. It's going to be a crescent world. Most of this is going to be hiding in the shadows. Actually, this part here, I'm going to leave that one the way it is. I am going to smooth this part out though. This part needs to be a little bit smoother. And I think I damaged it maybe too much. There you go. Okay. I took the damage and then I damaged it some more. Actually, I pushed some of these lighter color textures here up a little bit. There we go. And then, oh, so with this one, kind of a purpley looking rock, isn't it? I mean, we're gonna go over this with color, but I'm noticing it's a little different than the rest of the rock around it. So I think what we're gonna have to do, actually, sample a color from over here. I'm gonna just paint over this real fast. There you go. And I'm actually gonna paint it right up to that. If you look right there, there's a little canyon. So I want that canyon to still be there. So maybe this little biome here ends at the canyon. We'll have that end at the canyon. I'm gonna grab a lighter color here. Go, that's better. We can blend these in, no problem, so it's not gonna be an issue. There we go. So we'll take our blending tool and we'll just squish those together. There we go. See, boys say what? No magnetic field would have to exist on the planet, but it protects against solar wind, which would, oops, I lost it. Hold on. Would protect against the sun, which would literally strip the planet of anything. So it's still possible these lichen could, I keep losing my spot. It's still possible these lichen could have an outer molecular structure that evolved in the lichen. So these valley colony lichen would actually be a relatively recent evolution. Ah, this outer structure protecting against intense radiation, that is. Okay, so they might just have evolved to be able to survive this intense radiation that they're receiving on the daily. This daily radiation dose that they keep getting. I'm gonna add some more color to this. I just noticed. I think I like this better. With some of these little plates here, a little bit less erosion. So I'm just gonna kind of look at some of these. I'm gonna use the natural spots that the stucco and the lava rock textures create for us. And even some of the wood stump that we put in here. It's creating some interesting textures for us to follow. We're basically Bob Rossing this right now. So I like that crack. I'm actually gonna keep that crack right there. So I'm just gonna go around it real fast. And I'm just gonna leave it there. So I like that crack. That crack looks good. But this is how you get some of those natural textures that are just really hard to create manually. I'm seeing some damage right here, so I'm actually gonna use the smudge tool. Fix some of this pixelated damage. With that, yes. With that, we can actually make... See, if you look right here, there's some damage right there. There's like these little lines of the pixels where the textures got ruined. You want to go over that. And in fact, I almost want to just take these lighter brown textures over here. And I'm actually going to paint over it just a little bit. And then I'm going to use the smudge tool again. Because the blending here is pretty extreme when we did the distortion. It's pretty rough on the pixels. So I'm just gonna kind of smooth them out a little bit. There you go. And then I'm gonna take my brush tool again. I'm gonna paint over some of these lighter spots. Make that a new like little tectonic plate. There you go. Alright, and this part here, I'm kind of picturing this whole valley as like a kind of a really ancient crater, like a really old one that's kind of eroded. So this is actually going to be a huge valley. So I'm actually going to remove some of these textures here to create some nice contrast. And when we shade over, this will be like a huge canyon, kind of like the Mars Canyon. Because I'm seeing this huge bit of geometry that we can actually take advantage of. We can actually make this a really cool feature in our planet. So I think I want to do that. So I'm gonna actually take away these darker areas and just take away some of the textures here, because when we shade over, this is what we want to keep. We want this to be very prominent for these little areas there. I'm gonna take the smudge tool. I'm just gonna make that crack right there in the ground a little bit more exaggerated. Over here, bam, bam. Actually, I want to keep that rock right there. Actually, I like that rock. I'm going to keep that big boulder there. So the boulder stays. Over this again. Now we kept our canyon, but also kept this rock. I'm going to make the rock a little bit more prominent here. So the big giant boulder. And Waspman, hey, welcome back, man. Welcome back. All right. So, flip that. So this part here, I want to get rid of some of the erosion here. So, oops, and I'm using the wrong tool. My bad. My bad. There we go. Okay. So I want to get rid of some of this erosion texture here. Because if we want to make this a canyon, you gotta create some contrast between the top of the canyon and the bottom. You had a nice bath. Nice, dude. That sounds nice. I wish I had a hot tub. Not to take baths in, but like, I just wish I had a hot tub. A hot tub would be nice. Alright, let's see here. There we go. I want to keep some of it. I don't want to erase all the texture, but a lot of it has to go. So what I'm doing is I'm creating contrast between the top of the valley. So this is the top, and then down here in these darker areas is actually the darker parts of the valley. And then the light parts, again, are more smooth. Alright, there we go. So I think I'm gonna actually take some of that canyon. I'm actually gonna get rid of some of this stuff here. I want this to be a canyon, so I don't want there to be too many valleys into other areas. I want this guy maybe to pull like kind of like a Mars Canyon a little bit. We're pulling a Mars Canyon, so this is gonna be a canyon. And it's gonna work its way all the way over here. Have I seen the trailer for Songbird? I have never even heard of that, actually. What's that about? I am curious. I would like to know, actually. I always love a good movie. I love a good movie. And I haven't seen a good movie in a long time because of the whole COVID thing. So nothing good in the theater has been out lately, and you know, theaters are closed anyway. So as far as I can tell, I haven't gone to the theater all year. So it's a sad fact to not have gone to the theater for so long. Ugh. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, keep people safe. Keep people safe. So, let's see here. There we go. Bam. All right. Got some of this canyon here. I am gonna take the tool here, and I'm gonna kind of sharpen up this rock here. I kind of want that to be a sharper rock. There you go. Very nice. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's looking good. And that canyon is looking more canyony. Alright. We gotta fix some of the damage up here. I'm seeing more damage in the pixels here. So, I think what I'll do, I might actually just kind of paint over this lightly. Nice and light. Not too much. And then I'm gonna take the smudge tool and then we're gonna fix it. So we'll just kind of roll over all of these textures here. I don't want to spoil it, but it's kind of future-based. What if COVID-23, but done pretty well. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. Songbird. And I wonder what... Is that on Netflix? I feel like your Netflix and the American Netflix regions are different. They seem to, like, stream different things for different areas. Alright, I'm gonna actually take all the texture out of this guy here. And we're gonna do that. Okay. Oof, but not too much. I'm seeing some geometry here that I want to keep, so... There we go. Yes. Not too much. Be careful, Randy. Don't color over the spots you want to keep. There we go. Damn. Alright. Looks like we're good. I think this is a good place to start. I think maybe for this guy here, specifically, I would like to remove some of this heavy erosion on the big rock so it looks more like these other companions over here. 'Cause this guy looks like it's just falling into pieces. Just want to get rid of some of that destruction. And repair the rock. We are bringing the rock, making it 10 million years younger. Hydrogen, welcome! Yeah, specific shows for specific countries. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's why they're different. Well, dadgummit. Why can't Netflix just put everything on, right? Like, just have it all there. Just make it all available. Alright. There we go. So, just repairing some of this rock here. This rock is looking fantabulous. I'm gonna get rid of some of that canyon here. I'm gonna get rid of some of that blue. There we go. Alright. There we go. So a lot of that has been fixed. I'm trying to decide if I want to continue further into this canyon. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to push some of this back, because these parts look like they should be going a little bit higher than the rest of the rocks below it. This guy here, so if we're going to do that, then this needs to be a lot higher. This is a very elevated rock. Maybe I could keep a little bit, so we'll keep a crack there. This part here could have fallen down and got a little bit more eroded into the canyon. Oh, it says 2021. Okay, so maybe it's not out yet. Or maybe, I don't know. I literally just heard about it when you told me, so I know nothing about it, so I have no idea. Okay. But I'm intrigued and I want to watch it now. Get rid of some of the textures there. Just creating some larger rocks. I think I'll actually combine this into one big rock. There we go. And this guy. Sweet. Alright. So, we've repaired the rock. It looks a lot better. I think that looks really good, actually. If we're gonna do this elevated thing, though, a lot of these rocks here need to be elevated where there's less erosion. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm actually gonna darken this. Let's keep grabbing some of these darker textures here. Go. I'm just gonna kind of follow along this crack here a little bit more. Make it really visible. Or I don't know, invisible? I don't know. It's in the dark. It's just hanging in the dark. So we're just making this fissure a lot more visible. It's very prominent. No light gets in there. Too far. It's too far in the planet. There we go. We'll just kind of mix those together. I'm okay with that because when we zoom out, you won't really see that. It's just gonna look like part of the rock. Boys say, well, although the high radiation could play a part, there's so many different species of lichen. Oh, it's impossible for any living being to be immune to irradiation. Ah. So they would have to... So these guys probably live exclusively just underground all the time. Most of the time, or just in very unexposed valleys. Like these dark cracks here. Let's see here. Oh. Alright, we'll take a look here. I don't know why Netflix or Netflix, why Twitch is blocking or doing weird stuff. Why is Twitch being dumb? Is it just not sending? Looks like it's just not sending. I don't see anything on my end saying that something got sent. Ah, Twitch. Alright. MT0, hey, I like your flag. I like it. I'm gonna take a bite of my apple if you guys don't mind. Alright. I think our planet looks good. My only concern would be this. If a planet with high gravity exists, alright. Apple! Yep, I got an apple here. So boys say what? We might have to change the theory of our planet here. Because if it's a high gravity world, these humongous rocks would not exist. It would because like if you look at Mars, for example. Choking my apple. If you look at Mars, for example, Olympus Mons, it's the tallest mountain, or maybe the tallest volcano. I can't remember. It's the tallest volcano or mountain, whatever it is, in the solar system. And the only reason it's possible for that mountain to be so big is literally because Mars had volcanoes, but it had low gravity as well. Its gravity, the gravity on Mars, I think was a third. I think it's a third on Mars compared to here on Earth, so maybe this is not a high gravity world after all, if it's gonna have something that big. it might be more of a Mars-sized planet. You're having apple juice, bruh. So, maybe there can be atmosphere on this world. Maybe it'll just be thin, like Mars. So maybe this is more of a Mars planet. It's gonna be green, but maybe it's gonna be a Mars planet instead. All right, I'm gonna merge this down. So if it's low gravity, yeah, so I don't want to delete the mountains, because I want to keep the mountains. That was kind of what I envisioned with this planet. But if the mountains are going to be this... what's the word? This big, because that's huge. That's a massive, massive cliff. To see it that big in space, like... it wouldn't be possible with a high gravity world. Oh, low atmosphere, I mean. So, yeah, it can still have a low atmosphere because of the light gravity. So light gravity can still make a thin atmosphere. So it won't have an atmosphere that's sloshing around between the cracks anymore because the gravity is light. In this case, it's just going to be a very... it's possible it's just a very thin atmosphere. So if there's life on this world, then it's because the atmosphere is thinner. It's just enough to keep it alive, but it's gonna be a very thin. Very thin. I'm also looking at this over here. I'm seeing a little bit of a discrepancy over here. I'm not totally happy with it or content with it. In fact, what I want to do, believe it or not, I think what I want to do, to follow it right here, and I'm gonna let it stick out over the planet just a little bit, and just kind of follow it along right there. I think what I want to do with that is increase the mountain here. We bump it up a little bit right there. Just stick it out. And then we'll take the selection here. This is our new selection. Back over to this spot. And I'm just gonna pull in some of the textures from that other one over here. There we go. Alright, so now that looks much better. Oh my gosh, that looks so much better. So look at this. There's some damaged pixels here again. We're gonna have to fix that. But look at that. That looks better. So it might be a smaller planet than we thought. I was going for a large planet, but now that we're going into it more, it's a small planet. It's about a Mars-sized planet. Because a planet that big can have these kind of mountains, and these valleys and cracks, and still have geometry going on, volcanic activity, and atmosphere. It's just lighter. It's smaller. So there we go. So we have a huge planet right here. And I think I'm ready actually to merge these textures together, because once we're almost done as far as textures go. And there might be there'll be touch-ups here later, but for the most part I just need to fix these damaged pixels right here. As long as they don't look so ruined. There you go. And just high enough so it goes back into the shadow of the planet. There we go. Alright, cool. So we got our planet here. I'm gonna actually add a new layer here. I'm gonna add all of these guys. Actually, I have the whole thing just in its own folder. So this is our planet. Green planet. And we're gonna color that folder green. Bam. Alright. We're gonna make a new layer. And I'm actually gonna have to select the pixels from the green here because now our planet is not a perfect circle. Low, yeah, low atmosphere. So, oh, here, you got the message on Discord. All right, so let's read this again. So, although the high radiation would play to why there is so many different species of lichen in the first place, it's possible for any living being to be impossible for any living being to be immune to radiation, as all living things, including silicone-based life, are based off DNA, which is sensitive to damage from radiation. Oh. While many of these lichen could be killed from the lack of resources, there aren't any predators, so the mutations for that planet would be massive, leading to a lot of inconsequential and benefit evolutions. Very, very interesting. MT0, be right back. Lurk. Hey, MT0, thanks for the lurk, man. I appreciate it. All right, so very interesting, very interesting. So we got, but now that we have a planet here, it's geometrically active. Okay, so it probably has a magnetic field. It's gonna have a light atmosphere, a very thin one. About Mars. So this is basically Mars, but we're making it different. We're making a Mars-sized planet, which is about a third of the Earth. So I'm gonna take another bite of my apple. Sorry, guys. All right, so with this layer, I'm gonna get the bucket tool, go for black, and we're just gonna cover our planet black. It looks like we just deleted it. And that's okay. Alright, I'm gonna take off the selection, and I actually move our shadow here just a little bit to the left, just like that, or excuse me, to the right, duh. And I'm not sure how much of this planet I want to show right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it right back where the planet is. I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. And what we're going to do, let's see here. Add a little bit. That might be, if it's a low atmosphere, I mean, excuse me, if it's a light atmosphere, there's less atmosphere to scatter the light. So the perimeter, the terminator line is what it's called. This terminator line will be very immediate. I don't know, what does Mars terminator line look like? So maybe it should be a little bit more. I'm gonna look at Mars really fast. So Mars, terminator line. So if we look at Mars, nighttime and daytime. Oh, it's actually, Mars has a very gradual terminator line. So ours is actually too extreme. It's too much. So what we're gonna actually have to do, go back to this. So we're actually have to do a very gradual terminator line. So if we go to blur, with Gaussian blur, move over here. So it looked more like that. This is what Mars was like. Very, very, let's see here. Very, gradual. I almost want to put it, a little bit more here. I kind of wanted to show off some of these mountains there, but I have to bring down the opacity just a bit for the shadow, like this, like literally 99%. So just a touch, and then I'm actually gonna add one more layer of shadow, and this is the full-on the darkness of the night. So I don't want the back of Mars, or excuse me, this planet that we got here actually be visible. Oh no, that's not working out very well. Let's see here. Yeah, that doesn't work. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to make a new one. So select pixels and just do the thing all over again. So shadow, and probably what we'll do, shrink it down, and I want it to be about right here. So I kind of wanted to show some of that canyon here because we put some work into that canyon, and I kind of want to show it off. So there it is. So there's the shadow. We got another shadow here. It's darker. And then we'll actually lighten up this area here. And we'll see where we go from there. So we're adding some very general shadows and shading, but we haven't gone to like the very fine shading just yet. Because a lot of these canyons here, they're gonna have to be lit up a little bit because they're sticking up. They're sticking up a bit. So it actually has to be lighter than the parts here in the back. Just a bit lighter. Not by much, but like just a small margin. So let's go back to filter. We can go to sharpen. No, excuse me, what am I sharpen? Blur, Gaussian blur. And then we are going to increase the blur by a lot. And oh man, I am seeing a bit of a discrepancy here. So because of the nature of the 99%, I'm gonna do this one. We gotta give ourselves a bit more of a gradual shadow here, because the thing about Photoshop is when it's got lots of colors, but toward the end, right at the end with the white and the black, there's not as many colors to work with before it becomes pitch black and pitch white. So that is an issue. So I'm seeing these kind of layers that I'm trying to get rid of. Let's go blur, Gaussian blur. Bump it up. Let's see, nope, need a light, bump it down. So I guess like that. I have to do another layer in between of just the paintbrush itself. So something like this, and I'm just gonna add my own black here. There we go. Maybe something like that. That looks a lot better, because then now I can kind of see in the darkness here. See how much of the others. Yeah. Okay. So in the darkness, you can still see the canyon that I'm trying to show here. So I'm actually gonna do some mask tools here. Not that one. This one might need a mask layer. And then these guys are gonna be in their own folder for shadows. For the crescent, I guess. I don't know what to call it. And then I'm gonna take away very gradually some of the black takes away, right? Yes, it does. Okay, so black. I'm actually gonna pull this back again. Opacity. Alright, so I'm just gonna push back the light, or push back the shadows just ever so slightly. Even a little bit might be too much. It's gotta be very, very subtle. So maybe even less, way less than that. So I see the canyon there. A small bit. I'm just gonna kind of touch up the edges, and I might even bring some of that back, to be honest. It's not quite where I wanted that. There we go. Okay. So there's the shadows. Alright, so boys say what? So sorry for not giving a message in a bit. No, you're okay. Been rethinking life on this planet, as the low gravity would no longer confine the lichen to the valleys. Instead, they could now inhabit the surfaces. But there's still an issue with a planet this small having life. Yes, there is. So these little guys will have to be tough. I still kind of want them to live only in the canyons. in the cracks and the fissures of this planet. So I'm gonna push back the light just barely right here. And I just did literally the wrong thing. Black pushes it back. Okay, so there we go. Just a small touch of light, just like a little bit of flare, because this is higher in elevation than the rest of the planet here. With the dark, I think I'm gonna actually push back a little bit more with the darkness here. It's a little bit more darkness right here in this area. And we can push it back some more again, but just to convey that this thing is in the shadow, I kind of want this back piece to be a little bit more extreme right here. Go. Alright. There's a reason Mars is as it is. Mars had all of the criteria soon to become a planet with life. It would have been great. Do you want to know what that one issue was? Let's hear it, dude. Well, I heard it's geometrically dead now. So its magnetic sphere is not quite there anymore, and the water has moved somewhere else. So it might be underground now. So there could still be life on Mars. But I say still, like, there's still a possibility of life on Mars. But the water is somewhere else. And the atmosphere is very thin, and there's a lot of radiation on the surface of Mars, because a lot of the radiation just gets right through it. Because no magnetic field and light atmosphere, solar radiation just bathes Mars' surface, because it's just totally bathed in radiation. Mars is so light, its core burnt out. No active core means no magnetic field, which means this Mars was absolutely blasted with solar wind. Oh, there we go. So we had the same thought process. So this means that the majority of the atmosphere was literally torn away. So yeah, so it's losing atmosphere to the solar wind. So the sun basically killed it. It saturated the surface. So maybe with this one, it could be kind of like a Mars that's early in its life. So that its atmosphere hasn't been completely stripped away just yet. And I don't know. So maybe the life is struggling, but is living in a crack. So maybe it's something like that. So it's earlier on. Life is just kind of living inside the cracks. Maybe the water has kind of disappeared and is seeped into the canyon. So the life kind of only lives in there now, since it's safe from the radiation above you. And I don't know. And also water is a good protection against radiation as well. So if you want to stay safe from radiation, put some layers of water between you and it. And rock is really good as well. So that could be, those all could be very good possibilities. All right, now let's see if I can merge these two together without damaging the filters that we've added here. So merge down. Beautiful. All right, we have our planet. We got the textures. We've created our own texture. Look at that. I'm actually really happy with this planet. Look at you. It looks cool, but we're not done yet. Like I said, I wanted a green planet. I wanted a green one. But this one's not bad either. We might make two versions. Like a red planet, like an earlier in life Mars. Let's see what it would have been like. I'm gonna take another bite of my apple. Yeah, so this looks good. I'm gonna add another layer. This is gonna be a light layer, actually. So with this, I'm actually gonna take the color of the planet. Let's get a sample here. Oh wait, no, we can't do that yet. We can't put the light on there because we don't know the color of the planet. So what I wanted to do, I was gonna go here to image and adjustments first, and then hue and saturation. I was gonna explore what kind of colors we can hit first. There we go, look at these. Ooh. That looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, that looks really dope. But I really had my heart set on a green planet. Like the rocks themselves were green. There we go. So I don't have a green one yet. I don't have a green planet. Ice is good protection, but as you said, there isn't a lot of water, so there's not enough ice covering the surface to be that protection. Oh, but now we're talking about ice, bruh. I'm glad you brought that up. I do want some ice poles with this planet. So maybe we can cover... Where would the poles be? If that's the Terminator line. The poles would have to be about right here, and then probably right there. So like right... About right here. Kind of like a... I'm gonna cancel this really quick. I'm gonna copy... I'm gonna hide that one, and I'm gonna copy this guy, because we are gonna do some destructive layer editing here in a second. But I think that the poles... I'm stuttering, and I apologize. I'm thinking faster than I could talk. The poles would have to be like about right here, so it have to be lined up like this. Judging by the way the Terminator, actually, that's not even right. It'd have to be around like this, somewhere along this line right here. So this there and that there will probably have to be ice caps. So let's I'm just gonna keep that line there as kind of like to help me orient this planet. So that's the orientation of our little world that we got here. Which is not bad. It's not bad. I might even give this guy a little moon. I haven't quite decided, and a ring planet, but like again, ring planets imply gravity. And since this is a small planet like Mars, the ring would be a very small, thin ring. Ooh, you know what? That'd be really cool, though. This really thin little ring planet. That would be... Ooh, mwah, 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 mwah. I love that. I love it. So... It still has craters, because Mars has craters, so we can still accept that the craters are legit. Alright, so let's add some ice caps. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add another layer here. These are the ice caps. Ice caps. We're gonna have their own kind of dealio going on. I'm gonna select pixels, hit the ice cap layer. Now with ice caps, I'm gonna go a little higher here. Oh, and also before that, before we add ice caps, we gotta pick the color. So adjustments, hue, saturation. Let's go back to the green. Like I said, I had my heart set on a green planet. So as cool as these other colors are, because I'm actually really digging them. Maybe not the purple, but the blue looks really cool, and so does the red. But I already have a red planet and a blue planet, or I guess a red-brown dwarf would be more accurate. There's the green. That might be a little bit too green. Having a thin atmosphere wouldn't be the same as low and dense. A low and dense one. If the atmosphere is thin, and you want that much life on it, it wouldn't be possible. Life would be... So the green is actually not life. I just wanted green rocks. So the rocks themselves are green. So maybe like this planet's just rich in copper, and there's not enough oxygen to oxidize the copper to make it bronze looking. So maybe certain parts of it could be bronzy looking. But that's just an idea. I've seen a lot of green rocks before, like in like hot spring areas. So a lot of like the minerals, like that calcium, can sometimes give a green look that I've seen like in lava hot springs. I actually need to look into what mineral that actually is, because a lot of it's calcium, but it's just minerals from deep inside the earth. Like when they come up, they kind of have like this brownish, a brownish green tint to them sometimes. Oxidized. Oh, so maybe it is it's oxidized copper. Never mind. So I got it backwards. You're right. So in this case, there's oxygen on this planet then, if this is copper. And then the copper has been rusted, like Mars. So Mars is full of iron, right? And Mars gets its color from the oxidized iron, which makes it red. In this case, instead of iron, it's copper, and now it's green. So there we go. So now we know this planet has an atmosphere. It's oxidized copper. Since for whatever reason, this planet has a lot of copper. A lot of copper on this planet. So bump up the saturation a little bit more. Lightness. Nope, the light. I'm gonna put that back down to 0. All right. So we got our world here, our copper world. I'm gonna hide that mark there for a second. So here's our world with oxidized copper, rusted copper. Very similar to Mars. I kind of like this. It's kind of like the doppelganger of Mars. It's just like an alt Mars, alternative Mars. Just kind of rethinking Mars a little bit. Early life. I like this. We're giving it some backstory. This is how we figure things out here, and this is how we give these planets personality. I like where we're going. With this. Let's go with the outer glow first. I want to check out outer glow. That's the correct layer, right? And blending options, it's a little bit dark. Why did it pick such a dark color? What the heck? Alright, we'll do that. Opacity, linear dodge, let's do normal. Here we go. Okay, so there's a little bit of glow now. We're gonna have to do a few layers of this. Yes, it's interesting. Why did this planet get so much copper? Honestly, I don't know. But if you can think of a reason why it has so much copper on its surface, that would be interesting. Because for some reason, like Mars, for example, Mars has a lot of iron, and iron is known to be heavy, but Mars is so little. I don't know. So somehow we have to come up with some plan of why how the copper got there. I mean, it's not required. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's really fun to think about. Okay, the range is all the way up. I'm actually gonna bring this back a little bit to make that atmosphere a little bit thinner. Increase the outside part, and I'm gonna bring the opacity down. Oh, did it come back? There we go. Okay, so bring the opacity down just a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna be adding a new layer of atmosphere here. I just wanted to make sure this one. Let's see here. I'm having another issue now. I'm noticing, so this might actually be too much crescent to justify the sun coming up over the horizon. I would almost have to put the sun down here. So the lighting might not be right completely. If the sun's peeking around the corner, then this guy here will, the crescent would be much thinner. It'd be a much thinner crescent. But then if we do that, we lose a lot of our detail that we've put work into. Give me some time and I can come up with I can think of something. All right, man. All right. Yeah, so there might be an issue with the lighting, with what I'm trying to accomplish here. So if I do that, so I might actually have to I'm gonna add another shading layer here, and I'm gonna bring it to the bottom right there. So it would have to be like, I actually bring up the hardness real quick, like really up high. Let's see here, maybe a little bit lower. The crescent would have to be like this. Oh, the opacity is super low, my bad. It would have to be a lot more like this, and I would be okay with that, but we lose so much detail that we work so hard on. that being said, I could bring down the opacity again. And kind of reveal very... Oh, you know what? I like that. Hold on. I might peel it back a little bit more. But it does reveal some shadows here. Very, very subtle lighting. I'm gonna add another layer here. Just very subtle. If we keep it subtle, it would make it more believable, because this atmosphere then can actually scatter the light and actually reveal some of the nighttime for us. And if we put a moon here, that could justify more of lighting up the night, because then the moon is actually be reflecting light down on our Mars, alt Mars planet here. There we go. Just very light touches. There we go. Ooh! Ooh! I like it. I'm really liking this. This Mars is dope. Alt Mars is awesome. Okay. Push that light back a little bit. There we go. Give you a little bit more breathing room here. There we go. Just small touches right here and there, revealing some of the mountains that this planet has. You got it? Oh, bro, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Alright, I'm gonna add some white here. I'm gonna make that a bit darker. There we go. Woo! I like this. I like this planet. Ooh, I'm falling in love with this planet a lot, actually. Okay. Now that we got this, we're actually going to have to select this pixel again. We're going to do a new atmosphere. So this is atmosphere. We have to actually make it our own, a new folder. Dark. I might actually bring it back. We're going to peel it back here. This is atmosphere. So Atmo for atmosphere. And add a layer here. And then we're going to add the dark bucket tool in the back. I'm going to put this as screen on the screen layer. So technically all the black becomes invisible. Oh, but you know what? It might have to be in the front a little bit, now that I'm thinking about it. But below the shadow layers, because the shadow layers are important. If I bring it to the front, I can actually do an inner layer and add some more depth to our atmosphere here. And I'll show you what I mean. Because if you look here right now, there's atmosphere above, but down here, it's just blunk, no air. So, for a planet like this to have so much copper, this would have to be a very geologically active planet. Oh, which, as you see with all the canyons and the cracks and the fissures, it kind of is. It kind of is. It's kind of an active planet here. So, that would work. This theory that this planet that we're creating is very consistent with our with what should work. So I like this. I like that thought. So, a geologically active planet, or maybe at one time it was. So it could still have the dead core. It was geologically active and got all the copper there. So that could work. I am going to have to do an outer glow again, and this time instead of light green, we're gonna have to go way lighter. So much lighter green here, and higher opacity, and it's going to be much smaller. Oh, why did the opacity go down? I want it to the top, almost all the way up. All right, and we're going to bring it down, so the size needs to come down. You know what? I might actually have to bring back some of that dense atmosphere. I don't know. It looks like it's okay. I might have to bring back the opacity just a smidge to kind of create that eerie look about it. There we go. There we go. That works. Okay. So we got some eerie atmosphere now going. I do need to. Oh, I do need to add the inner atmosphere. So we'll do that by doing an inner glow. Woo! That is a little extreme. Holy crap. That looks cool too, though. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. It's like kind of a milky, very cloudy planet. It would be like a Venus planet if we did that. But we're not doing that today. So we're actually gonna pull back all of this. We're gonna have to go back with that green look. There we go. Kind of that milky green. We can capture it. There we go. And then we're gonna have to peel it back a little bit because that's still too thick of an atmosphere to work for what we're trying to do here. So if we bring back, let's see here, bring back the what's so extreme here? Why is it so far over? Is it the size? Is it the opacity? What this? It's this. Okay, here we go. We put it on edge. We can kick up the size now. Like, I almost want it to be all the way up. Come on. This Photoshop is really not liking what I'm doing right now. And increase the choke. That will increase this kind of milky, cloudy look for our planet right there. And we haven't even added the shading, and it's already looking fantastic. So, ooh, look at that. That's a beauty right there, you guys. That's a beauty. I am gonna add some. I'm gonna chip away a little bit more on the planet because I'm really enjoying this geometry right here, this imperfect circle. And so that's gonna have to carry over a little bit when we like some of these valleys and cracks here. Because I want to represent some of these valleys and cracks. Like this would look cool if you could see these from space. So like right there, maybe I would take a little bit off, just a little bit, like just ever so slightly. As found on Earth, copper is in high abundance in what are called porphyry deposits. These are generated by hypothermal vents, which are created by magma chambers far below the surface that heat sometimes escapes and creates these hydrothermal vents, which carry copper up the sedimentary layer of the planet. Ah. Okay, so volcanoes. So the volcanoes put the stuff on the surface here, and just over time, kind of like Mars, because it's so dusty on Mars, it may be the erosion has beat this copper down into a fine dust to kind of scatter it across the planet. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And if the planet is dead, then the solar wind could have torn away some of the surface, exposing the copper deposits. The exposed copper is then oxidized, and therefore it's green. Bruh! You nailed it. Oh, beautiful. Honestly, I'm gonna have to like save our whole chat here, because I want to put that into the description of this planet when we start building it up. Building up its backstory, which we are right now. So we're building up the backstory, but once we're done... Oh, I did something wrong. I did something wrong. Yep. I wanted to get the lasso tool. Because I see a canyon here. I see this really nice little area that we can take advantage of by peeling away just a small layer of pixels. And just by the imperfections of my own hand, unable to draw a straight line with the mouse, makes a perfect organic look. So we'll chip away some of the shadow here, and then some of the planet itself. I'm actually gonna add a mask layer so it's not so destructive. Ah! Whoops. Okay, hold on. Let's go back one more step. So with this, let's add a mask layer. I'm gonna add a mask layer here, and then we'll just go over it with our a black brush. So from right here, and the afterglow effect should work with our thing here. So I'm seeing a little canyon there, so I'll do a little nook, little cut into the planet a little bit there. I think that is good. So I'll come back out like this. Bam. Now, with the mask tool, you can actually hide this geometry. So I'm going to have to bring up the opacity all the way up and bring the hardness all the way up. and we cut away our planet, find all the layers that it's got. So all these little layers here we have created have to be erased. Oh, and I did that one wrong. No mask layer there. What's still here? What? Oh, it's that green. Okay, we're gonna hide the planet, the green underneath that. There we go. Cool. Alright, so there we go. Some slight imperfections in the planet itself. That way we get some geometry going here. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more right there on some of these canyon areas. MT's gonna run a bath back in a bit. Alright, MT. Yep, like the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, there you go. One final thing is if we want this much geological activity, then we should up the scale of the planet to about half the size of Earth to get the desired amount of tectonic activity. Oh, there you go. So, kind of like Mars, just kind of like an alt Mars, but a little bit bigger. So, Mars is a third, so it's not crazy to think that this alt Mars is a little larger than Mars. So it's very reasonable to put that in as part of its I don't know, bio, I guess. Let's see here. Just taking a small sliver off of that planet. Non-destructive layers. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing over here with this. Alright, chipping away at it. There we go. And then we'll be doing a shading layer as well. That makes that canyon much more believable. And this part here, so I want to actually do a little dip with this one. So right here, starting maybe as far as out as here, small dip, and then it comes back up right about there. And then we take that away, slice this little piece of canyon away. So now we have this valley which can be seen from space. So let's just kind of follow along here. We can add some of this imperfect geometry because nothing's perfect. Even the Earth is not perfectly round. So let's go back to this one. Slap that down. Bam. Very good. That one I really love this. This is like my favorite feature of the planet. It's just that big old bulge, that bump. And coming back to this planet layer, I'm actually gonna do a small bulge right here. I want to create some really tall mountains. All the way to the end of this little rock. There we go. And we're gonna bring it back. Follow along this. There we go. So now, we'll take that. We'll hit it with a... Oops. We'll hit it with a fill and do another one of those content aware tools. There we go. Now, we come back over here. So we have to actually select a new shape of our planet. And then, excuse me. We actually have to take this, and this guy is just colored black. So this is just black on a screen filter, so you can't see the black. We're gonna paint in some new layers there. So there we go. Check it. New valleys. And this is starting to remind me a lot like Minmus on Kerbal Space Program, to be honest. One final thing. Oh, wait, okay, I read that one. Okay, so now instead of the Valley of Lichen, this much activity would even create a lot of caves. So with access to the atmosphere, but still being away from the solar wind, there could now be carbon-based lichen species. Alright, so we've created a world now that, maybe the water has seeped down into the caves and whatnot, but we've created like an environment where something could possibly live. And if you think about it, maybe this life form, because a lot of the life forms here on Earth, their blood is filled with iron, right? But there are a few of them, like what are those guys called? The trilobites. Their blood, instead of being enriched with iron like you and I, their blood is actually enriched with copper, which makes their blood blue. So any life form here might have blue blood as the dominant color of blood. Did that work? I don't think that worked. Select pixels. Oh, what did I color then? What is this? Oh, I colored the wrong thing. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll select those pixels and we're gonna color that black. So, black right there. Alright, I think we got it. I've just seen some weirdness going on here. So, let me select these pixels again. Select pixels. I think I may have accidentally selected the wrong thing. I pulled that up. There we go. And also, copper blood, as far as Earth evolution is concerned, is a primitive type of blood. So, these life forms might be kind of primitive in contrast to Earth. There we go. I'm gonna just add a little bit of depth to that canyon there. But yeah, so copper blood is primitive compared to Earth blood or iron blood. But these life forms might be kind of primitive in nature, so. But less variation of the lichens. Now they aren't being bathed enough in radiation, cooked a whole blue whale like a turkey on Thanksgiving. True. So with everything that we've gotten here now, they're not getting as badly bathed in radiation. So this might, in the caves at least, in the caves, create just enough for something to exist. I'm gonna take away that little bump right there. That doesn't make sense. There we go. And then we'll just do the same thing on that layer. Not quite believable to me. Hold on just a second here. That little mountain there is looking a little off. There we go. Now we got a little mountain range here. I like that. Now our planet has got some depth. And I'm really digging it. Alright. Really digging it. So when we do the shading, it's gonna really make this design pop out a much more. Because we haven't even done the shading yet for our planet here. What was this? This is the outer. This is atmosphere. Okay, so you need to be in the atmosphere layer or folder, which is down here. Because I thought I was gonna need it down on the bottom, but turns out it needs to be on the top. Ah, dang it. Put it. Let's just organize our atmosphere here. There we go. Alright, and then we're gonna have to add ice caps as well. Let's save as. So this is gonna be I'm gonna call this one Alt Mars. So Alt Mars. I don't know what personality to bring into this, but I can use my imagination as far as like personal, like, human characteristics. That would still, yeah, there would still be underground lake colonies of microorganisms, so the lichen still has a food source. Yeah, so there wouldn't be a lot of life on the actual surface of this planet. Life would actually have to live in the cracks and in the caves and underground lakes, like you're saying. But less variation of lichen now. They aren't being bathed enough in radiation, cooked. Okay, yeah, okay. So we read that. Yeah, so not enough radiation. So this is starting to become a very somewhere in between Earth and Mars, because it's a little bit better as far as its atmosphere goes. Man, am I loving this planet. I am in love with this planet already. Just by the way it looks. So good. All right, so now we have to do a background layer. This is gonna be our background. Background. Got that. Let's delete this. Back up to that layer. So we're gonna put our star. I'm gonna make a white star. Instead of kind of a yellow or yellow or blue or something like that. So I've been picturing a white one. So hardness all the way up. So right, we can probably have our sun peeking over around the edge here. Oh, that's a little weird. What's going on there? Something's going on with... Oh, it's the shading. I know it's doing that. Okay. So these guys, one of them is bleeding out over outside the planet. So we'll select these pixels, and we're actually gonna have to peel back. So some of these guys are bleeding over. And I think, let's see, Control Shift I. So, which one is it? Who is bleeding over the edge here? It's that guy. Alright, we found it. So we'll just get rid of some of that. Make sure that's not bleeding over the edge, because obviously we can't have a shadow over our actual space. But I am going to leave some of the shadow here, because I need it there. So we're going to have to do a little bit of Skitty Wampus editing for that part. Because I'm using the shadows actually to cover this outer layer, this outer glow here. So this is making your gray matter work hard. Bruh, sometimes it's nice though. Yeah, sometimes it's nice. Alright, so we'll collapse the shadows now. The shadows are good. We have our sun. This is our sun layer. So that's the sun. Background, I think I'm gonna make the background in a purple folder, because that would make sense for me, at least. Because it's spacey and it's dark. So we'll keep that there. I do want to create a lens flare, but we're not going to use the Photoshop lens flare. We're going to be using our own lens flare that comes... we're going to be creating our own lens flare that doesn't come with Photoshop, so... that will come later. But so far, this planet is looking great. It's looking really good. It's looking really nice, actually. So... if I add a sun, though, do I want to add a planet ring around this? Because I think the ring would look quite beautiful, actually. A very, very thin ice ring floating around it. Not like Saturn, but like just, I'm talking thin, like pencil thin. Just kind of working its way around. I think it just look really cool to see it come along this way. So it's just a really cool angle. And if we really wanted to, we can also maybe add a moon, but I think the moon might mess up the ring with its own gravitational pull. So it might have to have a small planet or a small moon like Mars, like Deimos and Phobos, because those moons are technically asteroids, and so maybe we can have like small little asteroid moon. I'm really enjoying more of the... I think that the ring would just give this guy's own personality. Yeah, the moon would mess up the ring. It would have to be a very small little thing like the Phobos and Deimos like Mars has. Like the moons that are technically like they were just captured asteroids. That's what Mars has, is a captured asteroid. So in this case, I think... if we do add a moon, it's gonna have to be a very little itty-bitty dude. But I think the ring would look more pretty. I think the ring would look... I don't have a ring planet yet anyway, so... I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Also, really quick, guys, I'm gonna go on a quick break. Be right back. Give me 1 second here. There it is. Alright. I'll be right back. Give me, like... 5 minutes or something. But yeah. I'll be thinking about how the ring works when I come back. So I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes, okay? Alright, I'm back. Let me get the cat's here too, so you might see him. He might hang out with us, he might not. We'll see. But Lincoln is in the house. Alright, so. Hey kitty cat. So. What were we talking about? We were talking about the rings, right? Yeah, so the rings. We can't have a moon. At least not a big one, because the moon would mess up the ring. So. I guess. We could do two versions of this painting, right? We could do a version with oh kitty, meow. We could do a version with a moon, and then we could do a version with a ring. But we can't have both. As cool as that would look, it wouldn't be realistic because the moon would mess up the rings, like you were saying, because of its own gravitational pull. If we do both, it would have to be a small moon, like an asteroid-sized moon, where it's just not strong enough to actually affect the ring. But I think a cool little pencil ring would just look really, really neat. I think that's something we should explore. Let's see if I can create another folder here. Oh, kitty. Oh, you want some attention? Yes. Let's see if I can bring that down, not like... There we go, perfect. So this might have to be the ring layer. And the ring is gonna be tricky. I've never actually created a ring before in Photoshop. So this might be new for me, actually. So if I create a layer here, I do want a color ring. Let's see here. What would the ring be made of? What would be orbiting around a planet that is got a high abundance of copper? Like, what would that entail? Would it be more copper in space? And would that copper be oxidized? It probably wouldn't be. It would be bronzy looking, wouldn't it? So if we created a ring, what is this ring going to be made of? Is it just going to be dark rocks? Is it going to be... I don't know. Let's see here. I'm going to fill this in with the green. Likely just some dust. Okay, so it would probably be more of that classic gray color that a lot of asteroids have, or seem to have. So let's select the pixels here. Do another selection tool. And if I can do... Oh! I can do it right in the center, or pretty dang close to it. There was a button for that, and I think I messed it up. But honestly, if we just eyeball this, it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, maybe even some variation might be good for us because I might need it. Because parts... Oh, you know what? In fact, we do need it because... so I'll make one part a little bit thicker than the rest because... parts of the ring is going to be further away than other parts. So I need a little bit of a thinner side on parts of this guy here. Bam. Alright. So there's the ring. We'll delete it. Hopefully I deleted the right part. Oh, dang it. Alright, we have to invert it. Cat, do you want to go outside? Ugh. I feel like I'm gonna fall over the door. If it was copper, then it would be assumed that it was blown off the planet, and that would still mean the copper is green. It takes more than just... Okay. I like that explanation. Alright, so... we don't want the copper to be blown off the ring. Or off the planet. Because that would entail some other huge cataclysm that... that I just don't want to figure out right now. I like where we're at right now, so let's avoid giant cataclysm events for this guy here. So we got a ring. I'm thinking it's gonna have to get skewed. Something like this. So it'll have to get skewed and then like tilted. And then it's got to get scaled up again. So something like this. I do want the ring to be out a little bit further. So maybe right there. That looks good. Actually, I kind of like that. All right. So there's the ring. What we're going to do now, we're going to take our planet selection. And then we're just going to do... Oh, you know what? Let's do a mask. Let's just avoid destructive layers right now. So I'm going to do a mask. I'm going to select the planet. Go back to the mask tool. Get our brush. And I'm going to get rid of the thin part right here. There we go. It almost looks a little bit too... Because we're looking at the equator almost head on. That's actually not going to work. So... I'm actually going to have to thin it. I'm going to have to thin it down a little bit. So, we'll bring it here. Enter. And then I'm going to actually... Yeah, like I said, I'm going to have to thin this guy down quite a bit. There we go. And then tilt it back here. That's better. In fact, that's actually the kind of thickness I was imagining for this guy here, for this planet. All right, so let's go back here, select the pixels, go back to the ring, and hit the mask layer for the ring. Then we just go over that real quick, get rid of the back layer. Because this way, because now, look, this creates a cool dynamic where you can see the ring here. This ring right here will have to be covered up in shadow, but I did want some of the light reflecting on this thing. And then that will have to be lit up because that's hitting direct sunlight. That will create a really nice thing, like some dynamic in this picture for your eyes to follow. Very nice. All right, so I'm gonna copy this ring because I think we're gonna have to do a couple of changes to this. So, ring number 2. Go to filter. Gonna go to. I'm looking for one like noise. I'm looking for noise. Where would the noise be if I wanted to add noise? Let me see, adjustments. I always forget where it's at too. Edit. I wanna dissolve it almost. With little pixely bits. It's 12 o'clock. Yes, I'm running over just a little bit. I'm gonna go over about 20 minutes for the stream. So we still got some time. So I'm not gonna end it just yet. Word gallery pixelate. Oh, here we go. Mosaic, polarize, facet, crystallize. What's this? I've never actually played with some of these filters, but I'm just looking. See if I can create that pixelated look. I want to break it up. That's what I'm trying to do here. And that is not doing it. So, I'm not going to do that. I wanted to pixelate this guy. How do I do that? Oh, here we go. Noise. It's right there. Okay, add noise, despeckle, dust and scratches. Add noise. Let's see if I can break it up. It's getting there. Oh, it's not quite there yet. Uniform. Might have to do a screen layer. I don't know. So, just pick it up all the way. According to this picture, it's quite... Oh, we can't have the non-monochromatic. It has to be monochromatic. Alright, so we'll do it like that. Okay. I think I can hit this thing with the screen filter. We'll see how that does. Wait. The screen, it makes dark colors invisible. Okay, I need multiply. My bad. I need the multiply layer. And there it is. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I wanted to break it up. And it's not quite the broken up look that I'm trying to find. Filter gallery. But maybe we can find something here. That what I want to do is pixelate it. And actually create space between... Let's see, what? We got distort, ocean ripple, sketches, stylize, texture. Grain. What's the grain do? Can I find my shadow or my ring? There it is. Alright, so kinda hard to see it. Not quite. I'm hoping I can break it up. I might have to find a brush and break it up myself. Dark strokes. Yeah, none of this is going to... It's not going to give us the effect that I'm looking for. But we did add some texture to it as far as the... Let's see here. As far as... So it's not just like one color. Alright, let's go through our brush tools here. Let's see what we got. We don't have to delete anything. All we gotta do is color it black. There we go. That might work. So we do that. We keep a dark black color, because the black color will become invisible with the filter that we have on it. So... Oh, you know what? Maybe that won't work. Let's try another. No, definitely not that one. No, maybe that will have to work. That might work. Let's just take out some of these other brushes real fast. Looking for the one that's kind of broken up. Ooh, here we go. Yes! In fact, we can even just paint within the lines here. But that's okay. We'll just throw a bunch of this on here. Break up our little break up our ring here. The opacity all the way up? Yes. But we're still having... There's still a problem. Let's select the pixels. I'm gonna hide that ring. I'm gonna hide this ring as well. Oh, I see. Okay. So maybe this one does have to be on screen, because I had the other thing. Okay. So we'll put that one on screen again. How that makes it look. Hide the outside selection. Alright. Well, it's kind of ice looking, actually. It's definitely lost its green hue that it had. But that is a lot closer to the texture that I was going for. So that's actually better. Much better. Let's see if I can add some more of that texture here. So nice and slow. All of this back here. So this has to get faded out eventually. In fact, you know what? We can just paint here on our mask tool now. Don't need to be adding black to our ring. So we can actually use the mask tool. Be hiding some of the ring here. The ring should be almost completely invisible in the shadow. Aside from a few glints of light that may have reached a few of the ice particles, This guy should be, for the most part, invisible to the eye. Alright, so a lot of this back one here has to be invisible. All the way out there, because that's where the shadow is. We bring it forward. There we go. Bring it in. Yes. This is the effect I was looking for. This is literally what I wanted. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Okay, I don't want to mess up that ring too much because I like this. Because this is fine dust after all, so we don't want to destroy the shape. But I do want to take away some of that grain, that halo look that the selection created. Let's just get rid of some of that. Go. And this is non-destructive, by the way. This is a non-destructive thing that we're doing, so that's good. We like non-destructive because that means we can fix any mistakes that we make. All right, so there we go. So there's the ring going around the planet in a very thin, pencil thin look. This is literally what I wanted. Beautiful. I've never done a ring planet before. I'm actually really happy with it. I am gonna recopy this green layer. I'm gonna bring it back because there is something I want to do with this. So we're gonna copy it again, and let's see here. I'm gonna hide the one in the back. And with the green one, I'm gonna create a Gaussian blur. A Gaussian blur. And there's a reason I want the Gaussian blur. Oh, that's a little too Gaussian-y. A little too much blur. There we go. Oof! It'll create this kind of dust effect, and that's what I want. Yes, yes, yes. I might have to kill some of its opacity here. But this is quite literally what I was looking for. Alright. Because the sun's shining here. So the sun's shining right there. And this part, this is gonna have to be invisible. We can't have that. I'm gonna select the mask tool on that guy. And I am gonna pick a different brush here. This one. Back to this. And right when it gets into the shadow, we're gonna actually have to hide this halo, this hazy glow around the ring. Because we can't have it. Can't have it. Because it wouldn't make sense for the ring here to be illuminated in the shadow. There we go. We are gonna have to do a little bit of a white Gaussian blur as well. So a white version of this. Let's see here. We're gonna do the same thing again. So I'm just gonna copy this layer, bring it to the front, and we're gonna have to actually lighten this one up, make it white, basically. Brightness, just kick it up all the way up. All the way up. There we go. And this one might actually have to be in the front of all the rings. This guy... Let's select it real fast. There we go. I think I'm just gonna use the bucket tool. It'll create a halo, a little fuzzy halo ring, green ring around the this ring. But since we're gonna hit it with a Gaussian blur, it wouldn't even matter right now. Ooh, that looks like a laser. That looks sick. You can't keep it. Can't keep it like that, but that does look cool though. That does look cool. All right, so we're gonna hit it again with a Gaussian blur, and this guy. This one. Whoa, what's going on? Yay! Think not, mate. We are adding the ring. I am adding the ring right now. I'm just kind of... I need to shrink that white layer down just a bit. Yeah, so we're gonna add the ring. So instead of doing the moon, we're adding the ring. I am having an issue with the way it's blending with the green here. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to pull it back. I'm gonna put it in the back layer, because it's just overpowering the green haze. And I'm gonna actually bring the opacity down, like way down. It's way too strong. There we go. Okay. This one looks a lot more peaceful. Oh yeah, I wanted a peaceful look for this one. Yes. That is a little bit too... It's not right. Alright, so we got that. I think we have to go back to this guy here. Is that the one? Nope, that's the green haze. I think that's the ice. Yep. Alright, we are gonna have to blur the ice just a little bit. It's too sharp. And, oh, but that's too blurry. There's a balance, and I need to find it. Ugh, but that takes away from the quality if I do it like that. That won't work. It is in the front layer. Maybe we should bring it to the back so that the haze, there we go, so that the haze can actually, overpower the ice particles here. Because I'm noticing... Losing my voice, you guys, a little bit. Because this doesn't look right. That splattered pattern for this outside part. Because over here, it works perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted. This kind of like icy ring here. But this one, once we get to here, it breaks down and it doesn't look right. I think what I'm gonna have to do, because a lot of this is from the mask, that texture. Wonder if there's a way to take the texture, the mask itself, and then like smooth. I don't know if that's working. Because the mask thing is still there. I was hoping it would select the mask. That doesn't look right. Not the effect I was going for. This needs to look more, a little bit more like a Saturn ring. So, I guess with the mask, as far as the mask is concerned, I think we're gonna have to actually remove the mask. Is this the right ring that we're selecting? Yes. Okay, so if I can remove the mask, I'm gonna do it. Some of this is the screen layer. If I hit normal, what happens? I know there's some black on this. There you go. The black is still hard to see, but it is more apparent in some of these other areas. So, I mean, it might work, actually, if we kept the black in there. So instead of doing screen, so it's kind of see-through, the black does create a bit of a, it does a good effect around the sun. But you know what? I think I'm gonna have to stick with what I had before. I think I'm just gonna have to mix the black in with the ring itself. So, we'll select the pixels. Hopefully this black will blend alright. There we go. So if we do it like that, it's a little choppy. It's a little choppier than I'd like, but because now we lose the white ice look. Oof, this is tricky. It's tricky. I feel like we're gonna end up spending the rest of the time on that ring. The other way around it, I guess, would be to, like, push the ring outside of the edge and just not have it inside the canvas. So, like, literally just selecting this whole thing and just scooching it over just a bit, just so it hangs outside of the canvas just a little. We would have to rethink our mask again if we did this. So if we selected these pixels and then yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to rethink the mask. It shouldn't be too hard to fix it though. It's just a white brush. So control. Actually, before we do that, let's get rid of the black one here. Or get rid of this. That's gotta go. That part of the ring has to go. We'll just do it on every layer here. So we get it. And then we're gonna go Control, Shift I. And then we're gonna color in the ring here. In all the different layers. Okay. There we go. So now we got our ring. Kind of back where it should be. There we go. That saves us a lot of time. We don't actually have to focus on making that little... the end of the ring look Saturny. Because I didn't want to redo it. I really like this. I'm really loving this. And I wanted to keep that. So... let's see here. And I do need to hide this one a bit more. So back to this layer. And then getting that brush tool again. And we're just gonna kind of go over this until this kind of starts to disappear a little bit more. Are we selecting it? This thing. Oh, we're hitting the white. Ah. We need the dark brush. There we go. Because we need to hide it. There we go. Some of that green is gonna have to be hidden as well. Some of that green that right here on the top needs to go away. Can't have that. So back to this. I don't know which haze is which. I should have. Oh, that's definitely not the green. That's the top one's the green then. Alright, and then we'll get rid of the haze here. So no more haze. Bring down the hardness. Pull that away. There we go. Alright. So... and then we're gonna have to take away most of the haze here. But we gotta bring down the opacity, because I don't want to do it completely in some spots. But we do need to get a lot of it out. Where's the white one? Get rid of that. Honestly, that haze should only be just barely showing up around the terminal. So just barely past the terminal. Not too much, though. There we go. Yes. And that's the green layer. Green's on top. So I'm gonna have to just do this. So green haze is the top one. So green haze is the top. And then the white haze is on the bottom. And this is the ice. Ice ring. And it's 1 o'clock. Yep, it is 1 o'clock, Waspman. Thank you for letting me know. I will have to be jumping off here in a second, but let me finish the ring here. I'm gonna finish the ring. And then we'll call it. When we come back, we're gonna have to finish the background. So all this background, and then the planet itself needs some shading still, because this texture is still pretty flat, but it's looking so good right now. Can we raid? You have a suggestion? Hey, just you have to buy the points if you have it. To guide the raid points. But yeah, but this planet's looking so good. It's looking so good. And just to think, it was just a little green sphere when we started. Let me show you here. This was what we started with. Bring it to the background. And we'll close that folder. So we'll turn that one off and turn this off. This is what we started with. Without the sun. So we've gone a long ways. We've really brought out a planet with a background story, and so yeah, we did good. We did really good here. And also I think not mate. Holy crap. Or Boys Say What, excuse me. Boys Say What gave some really good input on how to make this planet very in harmony with science. So with all of us putting our brains together, we're able to come up with a really cool planet. I do, however, we still need to come up with a name, because all of these planets that we've created. Let me bring up the other planets again so you guys can see them. I'm gonna turn off these textures. We don't need these anymore. Let me save this file, because oh my goodness, that would be so sad if we lost all this work. I would cry. I would cry on stream in front of everybody. I don't care. Happy to help with that story. Yeah, man, dude, it was fantastic input. Now we need a name, but the way I've been naming these planets, so this guy is kind of an alt Mars, right? So it's an alternative Mars. It's what this kind of became. So what's a good personality that people have with like alternative versions of themselves? We could even when we finish this, we could even do the red version. So it could be like twins. Like this is the doppelganger. So maybe we should call this doppelganger 1 and then doppelganger 2, because we can easily make this into a red planet as well, and then maybe take out the ring and give it a moon instead. Because I think that'll be fun. And then just reverse the picture. The twins from Terraria. Nice. Yeah, so guys, in the Discord, let's come up with some names, all right, for this planet, all right? So if we don't go with the doppelganger angle, maybe some other stuff, but we did create kind of an alternative Mars. So instead of iron, it's copper, so that's why it's green. It's kind of like I don't know, but that's kind of what we did here. So maybe think of some personalities like that. Let me bring up some of these old pictures that I painted, so you guys can kind of see what I mean when how I name these planets, these paintings here. I need to make sure I find them all. I'll just give you some quick background story, and then I think that will be where we have to end it. Let me... Radizer. Is that the name of the twins? Oh, Gemini. Oh, what's Gemini mean? Hold on, let me bring up Gemini. I actually don't know what the definition... Gemini. Third astrological sign of the... Oh, that's right. With the zodiac or originating from the constellation of Gemini is a positive, immutable sign under the tropic zodiac. The sun transmits this sign between okay, May and June. Gemini is represented by the twins. Oh! Boys say what? That is a great name. Gemini is represented by the twins Castor and Pollux, known as Dioscuri. I'm not sure if I'm saying that. Dioscuri? I like that. Ooh. Radizar for the red one. There you go, Wasman. The red one could be Radizar. And the green one can be Bob. But according to this Gemini thing, the twins are named Castor and Pollux. So one of these will have to be Castor and the other one will have to be Pollux. Together they create the Gemini collection. Because these are going on sale. Because, like, I'll show you here right now. So going back, where's the... Oh, we're missing one. Where's the canvas version? There we go. I pulled out the poster version by accident. Alright. So this guy... So this is what we're doing. Let me... You guys can see my sweatpants, by the way. So this is the same picture as you see right there in your screens. These are going to be going on sale soon. Not right now, they're not on sale, but I will be setting it up so you guys can be able to buy these paintings. And if you buy them from the Twitch store, which or you know, from some way, I have to figure out a way to do it, but I will sign it myself. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I don't know how I'm gonna make that work yet, so I can see which ones have bought it from the store and which ones bought it from Twitch. But I'll figure it out here soon. But when I'm creating... Sorry, I dropped the mic. What I'm creating is what's called the Chronos collection. And Chronos is Greek for universe. So it's called the Chronos. Or not Chronos, Cosmos with a K, which is Greek for universe. Anyway, so all these planets have backstories, and I've kind of worked these planets in with human personalities and human traits. So like this one's called Renewal. Because a lot of its inspiration was pulled from Europa, right? From the moon Europa around Jupiter. Raid Clops 1. Alright, well, we'll do that here in just a second. Let me go over these backstories real quick. So the backstory of the Europa planet, or this one's called Renewal, is that we can heal from our wounds and our scars. So, oh, he's a PA player. Nice. Oh, that's right. He is, huh? So anyway, this kind of represents like healing from your scars. So like this thing here, there's oceans under the ice, and the water comes up and kind of fills in the cracks with new ice. So eventually, these scars don't last forever with this planet here. So that's what I kind of created with this thing. Is human traits. So this one is a picture of healing, of kind of like serenity, some peaceful healing from your old scars, even though some of them are still showing, so that even though you may be broken, you can heal. And that's what this painting represents. Passion is a brown dwarf. So this is actually a brown dwarf celestial object. That's a planet or a moon, I guess, around this brown dwarf. I don't know what you would call it, because a brown dwarf isn't really a planet and it's not really a star. It's kind of like in between, so I guess it's a planet. So this star, see all this space dust around it, with this brown dwarf trying to become a star. He's got passion burning inside, so he's kind of glowing already. But he's not quite a star yet. He's not quite that level of star. So that's what the passion painting is all about. So it represents passion. You're burning to become a star. And that's what this painting represents. Coming over here, the neutron star. This one's called Bend the Rules. Oh, I grabbed the poster version by mistake. My bad. The canvas versions don't have this graphic. The posters do. So this is called Bend the Rules. This is a neutron star. And not quite a black hole, but almost was. But this guy likes to bend the rules because he's like, I'm not going to be a star. I'm not going to be a black hole. I'm going to do it my way. And so you can see it here. He's bending the rules. He's bending the light around himself or herself. As you can see the light going, the cloud, this little crescent disk. Accretion disk, excuse me. It goes behind the neutron star, but with the bending the light around it, you would actually see the light that's behind the neutron star. And this is what a neutron star would look like. I had to do a lot of research for this painting to make it work. Then you got the gamma rays here. Technically, you wouldn't be able to see the gamma rays with your own eyes. It would just be the white part, the clouds, like the accretion disk you'd be able to see with your own eyes. And then the bent light you would be able to see. But not the gamma rays. But I did want to represent the gamma rays in the neutron star. And if you notice over here, and I literally forgot the name of why you can't see the gamma ray on the other pole. But the gamma rays are moving at near the speed of light, right? So you actually can't see that gamma ray because it's moving away from you. And there was literally a name for this, and I cannot remember it for the life of me at the moment. But that is the reason. There's a whole reason for that to actually not show. But I showed a little bit because of the heavy gravity would be pulling some of that light back actually. So you would probably be able to see it if you could see gamma rays. So you see a little bit of this gamma ray here. So this one's Bend the Rules. This is for people that don't like following the system. They don't like to follow tradition. This is somebody that breaks tradition. That's what this one is here. I pulled up the poster version, so I apologize about that. But there is a canvas version of this painting here. So, sorry. So coming over here, the Pandora Sphere. This one, MT0, actually helped us name. This one is more for people that are mysterious. They have a mysterious background. Like you can see at first glance, you see all this chaos around here. But then at a second glance, you see there's a lot of calm and serenity underneath these clouds. So, and you have to kind of solve the mystery as to why this planet, why that is destroyed and why that one is not, and what is actually going on here. The answer, I'll tell you the answer. I don't mind telling the answer. The answer is just that this planet skidded this planet here. And a lot of its matter has become part of this. So, there's a lot going on, and mysterious people usually have a lot of things going on internally. So this is more like for the introvert, actually. But it could be for the extrovert as well. It's just people with a mysterious past, or just a very mysterious persona about them. So that's what this is for. So you can see a little bit revealed underneath the clouds, but not everything underneath this accretion disk. You can see some heat coming out from here. So there's some mystery that's kind of bubbling up the more you get to know this person, and that's what this Pandora Sphere actually represents. So that one. This one is just the Halley from the Planetary Annihilation game. I use this as the cover for when I start my Planetary Annihilation streams on Wednesdays. So you get to see that one. So that's what this one is. No backstory here, just that everybody on this planet is about to be destroyed, and everybody here is about to be destroyed. So that's it. No backstory for that one. This one is the one we just painted today, and I'm really liking the name Gemini. So we'll have the Gemini 1 and 2. And boys say what? Dude, thank you for the name suggestion. That was actually the perfect name for that, Gemini. What did you make that planetary... Wait, did you make that planetary image? Yes! I did this. The only thing I did not paint were the Halleys themselves. I actually just took an image from the game itself, like a screenshot, to make that. But aside from that, I did everything else. So So yeah, so this is what I start the stream with on Wednesdays. So I think Not Mate's freaking out over here. So yeah, so this is a PA image. No backstory for this one, just except that we're gonna blow up a planet with a Halley. So that's just with the Halley video game. But yeah, so that was fun. Let me read Boy say what he left a good one here. So what instead gave me the green planet, a large red version of itself, a moon, created from it. And since Pollux wanted Zeus also to give his brother Castor immortality, it would go to the green is Pollux and the red moon Castor. But it is a suggestion. Ah, okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. So the red one will have to be Castor, you said. Okay, so green would be... Green is Pollux and red is Castor. Okay. I have to remember that. So this one is Pollux. So in fact, I might have to resave this one. Or rename it when I close it as Pollux. Gemini Pollux. And then we'll have a Gemini Castor. Which will be the red planet. So they'll be like kind of like twins. Very great suggestion. Dude, Boy say what? Dude, thank you so much for your help on the background for this planet. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing these kind of paintings again in the future. Because I like getting your guys' input on these worlds. These ones I just did on my own time. So I didn't get any sweet input from you guys for these planets. But I did do a lot of research when I created them. So this one not so much. This one I had a lot of input from you guys. So MT0 helped a lot for a lot of input for this one. And then Boy say what? This one here. This one's a lot of your own input on this one. So a little bit of you guys are now inside these paintings, just so you guys know. So because I painted it and I did it with you guys, you can now say there's a part of you in this painting. That goes for everybody here, including those that are lurking. You're all in here because we were all vibing together, and it creates a feeling that is kind of in your chest when you draw and paint, and by that you can create something. And what we were able to create today is very good. It's not done yet, as you can see here. We still need to do some shading for the textures on the planet itself. So we're still not done, but we are doing fantastic as for how this planet looks so far. So it's looking really good. All right, guys. Oh yeah, you were there for the other one too. So yeah, so you guys are in there. You're a part of this painting now. So you're in the drawing now. You're in the painting. So anyways, guys, I actually do have to head out. I really enjoyed this. So thank you so much, you guys, for stopping by and giving me your ideas for the planets. Wasp Man, Boy saying what? I think Not Mate. You guys, thanks for stopping by. MT0 is here too. I think he is currently lurking, but yeah, so guys, thank you so much. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to drop a follow. I stream 4 times a week, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. We just changed the schedule, so it's just consistent across the board. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we stream consistently, okay? Which is a big deal. We stream consistently on this channel. Oh yes, Waspman, also, and join the Discord. Join the Discord, and Waspman, I appreciate your help there, man. Thank you. Thank you. And guys, I will see you. This video is going to be on the YouTube channel, so that will be up soon, probably today or tomorrow. So I'll be moving this over because I can. I would like you guys to be able to enjoy this little moment that we all had together. Yeah, and so yeah. And soon this will be a canvas version. I will be making a canvas version of this planet here. So, anywho, you guys. I'm a space explorer. Oh! Wasp Man. Alright, we gotta do this before we end the stream, though. Space Explorer Wasp Man is now, so you are Swaggy in Discord, right? Swaggy, there you are. Alright, how do... Let's see here. We gotta give you the Space Explorer title, bruh. Welcome to the Space Explorer ranks on Discord. I believe your name will now be, it should be green. Let's see here. Might have to change some of the color, but I'll fix that here in a second because your subscriber status is overriding the what do you call it? The Space Explorer. So I'll have to change it. But bruh, thanks for the Space Explorer redemption points, bruh. 8,500 channel points. People, that is massive. Dude, what's mine? That's a massive purchase. That's a massive purchase. And you are now officially a Space Explorer. I'll tweak it so it represents it on the channel or on the Discord. But you are now officially a Space Explorer on Discord. So, congratulations. And poor. You're poor now. No more channel points. It's all good, dude. Yeah, you have no points. Yup, all your channel points are gone. But dude, I'm 1,000 away from Space Marine. Oh, dude, yes! Space Marine's epic. I don't think anybody has the Space Marine yet. I'll have to check. I don't think anybody does. Ooh. You might be the first Space Marine. I think MT might actually have it. I think MT might actually have Space Marine. I'll have to check. MT bought one. I can't remember what it was. But MT0 does. Oh, okay. Oh, Space Pirate. That's right. He's a Space Pirate. He's a Space Pirate on Discord. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome, guys. Well, that was a hoot. That was so much fun. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to jump off because I literally start work here in the next, like, 2 minutes. So, thank you so much, all of you, for stopping by and becoming a part of this painting with me. So, that said, I will see you guys on Monday. Oh, actually, I do have an announcement. Oh, shoot. There is an announcement. With Thanksgiving coming up, all right, I will actually be gone for a week, all right? So I will stream on Monday, but on Tuesday, I'll be on vacation until the next Tuesday. So I'll be gone for a week. But then when we're back, we'll continue the painting. We'll continue the Planetary Wednesday. Will be right when I come back. So enjoy the vacation. Yes, it's not for a couple days still. I probably won't head out until I'm not heading out till Tuesday. So I will be here on Monday to stream with you guys. So we'll have a nice long stream on Monday, and then and I might even do some bonus streams to kind of make up for the days I'm missing. We'll see. Okay, let's not get crazy because a lot of days to make up. But we will be on vacation for a week. But I'll be hanging out with you guys on Discord, alright? So we'll be having some fun Discord stuff. Osman, bye! And all that. So, yes, that was an important announcement, just so you guys know, heads up. So I will be gone on Monday, or excuse me, Tuesday. And I'll be gone until the next Tuesday, and then I'll be back, alright? So just a week vacation, and I'll be back December 1st. So I probably, depending on when I get back, I probably won't be streaming until the 2nd. So December the 2nd on Wednesday. So PA Wednesday. Alright. So yeah. So 1 week and I'm gone. Okay. Alright, guys. See you later. I do have to head out. I'm going to be late for work. So, guys. My trademark. Yep. See you guys later. I will continue to talk to you on the Discord. Alright. So I'll see you on Discord for the week. But I'll also see you on Monday. Alright. So, guys, peace out. Have a good one. Peace.